Pregame continues here on a football Friday night. We welcome you in. Rocky Downing along with Flip Casper. Football on the way. First, though, we'll look around the KCLY community. A lot to look into. Flip, let's start on the volleyball court. Let's start with the TVL, shall we?
Well, the one that jumps out at me in the TVL is Washington beating Centralia in 2.
No doubt.
25-14, 25-21. Now, Centralia, that's their first loss on the year.
Yeah.
To Washington County. Washington County's still 10-2 on the season, 5-2 in the league. Axtell continues to dominate in that league right now. They're undefeated in league play. Centralia with the best record with just one loss, and that coming to Washington. That's the one that jumped out at me.
Yeah, the top 4 teams, you look at their overall record, 10-2 Washington County, Hanover 10-3, they're 5-2 in conference. Then 10-1 for Centralia, you said the best record, 9-3 for Axtell overall. So they're going to beat up on each other just a little bit, but that gets them pretty darn ready for Sub-State when it rolls around.
Yeah,
which won't be that far away.
No, it won't. It always jumps up on you, but some pretty good volleyball in the TVL once again. Not a surprise.
Yeah, to no one's surprise. The Lady Tigers of Clay Center went on the road to Manhattan. They would split, losing to, as Coach Moran said, a really good Manhattan team, 7-25, 16-25, and a much improved Rossville team. They beat in 3 sets, 25-16, 19-25, and 25-18. Courtney Hamels had a huge year already up at the net. And Hannah Swihart, Lauren Lane, and company have really complimented well for Coach Robert Moran. Again, they split at Manhattan. That's coming off, by the way, a Riley County Invitational Championship last Saturday.
That's right, and I think that Manhattan matchup is one Coach Moran really likes. Manhattan is always dominant.
They're good
in 6A volleyball, but I think it really gives him an opportunity to gauge where his team is, and I think he likes that matchup.
No, I think you're exactly right, and it's a good test and a learning process early in the season, which is the right time to get him, I think, in his mind. The Tiger tennis team went to Chapman this week as well, and the results, first place for Hannah Callan in number 1 singles. They had a first place also for Chloe Gaug in number 2 singles, and their doubles teams, a second for Richardson and Wilcoxon, and then a third for Fowles and Girton. So they're doing some good things for Coach Jeff Edwards, and they really started to grow the last couple of years, getting numbers out, and now we see them getting more and more success, and so that's a good showing for them at Chapman earlier in the week.
I watched them practice a little bit the other day. I just happened to be in that area, and I noted the first thing I noticed was the numbers. Hadn't seen that many numbers out in a while, and that's good to see. Good to see that girls tennis program coming back.
It is exciting. The cross-country team for Clay Center was hosting their invitational yesterday at the Clay Center Country Club, and a really good performance on the boys' side. 2 top 5 runners. Caleb Siebold runs 17:45. That's second place at the home meet. And then Caleb Rookstool ran a 5th place time of 19:04. So good stuff there.
Yeah, that is good stuff. They're doing well.
The JV boys led by Mason Allberg and Matthew Davidson, both in the top 20, 12th for Allberg and 17th for Davidson. Smoky Valley won the team event 49. That's a low number for that boys cross-country meet. Wamego second, Abilene, Riley County, Clay Center, the top 5. On the girls' side, a gold medal first for Mariah Larson. She runs a first-place time of 21:41.
Yeah, good day for Mariah, and she just keeps coming on. I mean, she just has started off really well. She's slowly come about through her career, and she ran a really good race from what I understand yesterday.
21:41 first, 8th place for Andrea Chestnut, 9th for Savannah Kipfer, and also 11th for Emma Smith, 28th Katie Schlichter, and Zoe Ald took a 30th. That adds up to a second place for the Lady Tigers at that Invitational. Southeast Saline would win first by 3 points over Clay Center. In the JV on the girls' side, it was Karen Larson and Mallory Owen both in the top 10. Larson first, and Owen coming in 9th place. Also did have some JV Clay Center volleyball that took place yesterday. Clay Center lost to Manhattan in 2 sets, 16-25, 10-25, and then they lost to Wamego in the 3rd set. They pushed that to a 3rd set, and they beat Riley County in 2 sets, 25-15, the win in the 2nd set to close that one out. That's JV volleyball for Clay Center from yesterday. So a lot happening, certainly a busy time. This weekend, there are tournaments this weekend?
Yeah, there are.
TVL, is that right?
I believe so. Volleyball tournaments in the TVL. No, maybe not. I'm not
They
seeing
had a busy Saturday last weekend.
Last Saturday, everybody was pretty tied up. They may not have too much. I don't have anything on the schedule. The next action I have in the TVL is this coming Tuesday.
And I believe that's the same across the board. So, I had the big Wamego Invitational cross country last weekend.
Everybody had a tournament last weekend.
They had tournaments in volleyball, so a lot happening for those different athletes. When we come back, we'll look at some of the area football matchups around the KCLY community. Great stuff going on there. Pregame continues in a moment.
Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy has earned the reputation of being a dependable supplier of durable medical equipment. They offer customers cost-effective quality products they need to improve their health and well-being. Lift chairs, shoes for diabetics, canes, bath aids, wheelchairs, knee braces, CPAP machines and supplies, and several other helpful equipment is available. And if you have a prescription to be filled, bring it into Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy for friendly and professional service. Downtown Clay Center.
It's time for Tiger football. I'm sure the coaching staff has put together a solid game plan for tonight's game. Have you thought about your insurance game plan? Hi, Tiger fans. This is Jim Gearhan with Farmers Union Insurance. We can customize insurance plans from everything from cars, trucks, and combines to houses, boats, and businesses. We can even insure your retirement. Stop by and see me, Jim Gearhan, at 426 Lincoln Avenue in downtown Clay Center, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics.
Tyler Hassenbank discusses how Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia make sure you get the right siding for you.
First, we kind of figure out what you're looking for. It varies from colors to kind of what the image you want to put out. That's kind of our process. We'll just sit down with you and talk you through it.
That's Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement, we've got you covered.
Whether you want the tried and true seed wheat varieties or a blend of the latest in the field of genetic innovations suited for your specific soil conditions, Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales wants to be your source for seed wheat and starter fertilizer. Let us explain all the details and then place your order to ensure we have enough on hand. We can also add treatment to your seed wheat to protect it while it gets established and ready for a harsh winter. This is Blaze. Stop in and see us at Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales.
Back again on pregame, and we talk football, Flip, and some great matchups around the KCLY community, certainly to look into. I'm going to start 8-man football and start with Southern Cloud going to Beloit St. John's. It's been a tough run for the Warriors in the first 2 weeks. This team is good. This is one of the top-rated teams in 8-man football right now.
Yeah, Beloit St. John's.
Yeah.
And no surprise. They've had two pretty good wins. Now, they did beat Osborne, but keep in mind, that's not the same Osborne team as was last year. So, a couple good wins. Beloit St. John's is always good. I think they've had a couple of down years, but when they get the right people on the field, they're something else.
Pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, and Southern Cloud will have their hands full, and I'm sure we don't need to tell them that. But they've had a couple of tough starts, too. Rock Hills and Chase are both pretty good teams.
Without a doubt. Let's move over to the Wakefield Bombers. They're going back into the TVL tonight, taking on Hanover, losing to Solomon last week. They're banged up right now, and I know that was a disappointing loss, and the scoreboard may have said, Wakefield, not what they thought they would be. That's not really the case.
No, don't take it like that at all, because they lost, I think, their entire backfield outside of their quarterback. Zach Milius is battling injury again, and that's just too bad. He's battled that hamstring. I know James Williams went down, and Jake Tiernan is good. And, the guy completed 9 of 10 passes against him. But keep in mind, that's without 3 of their starters, and I don't know what the status is
for this week.
Zach tweaked the hamstring. He didn't pull it again, but I don't know what they'll do with. And Hanover, holy cow.
They got it rolling,
Will Bruna, 20 of 28 for 297 yards and 5 TDs.
It's the second straight week he's put up monster numbers.
That's unbelievable numbers. And
that's against a good Frankfurt team.
Well, and he spreads it out.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't throw to one guy. He's got 3 or 4 targets that he throws to. So, Wakefield is going to – I hope all their guys are on the field.
Let's stay in the TVL and finish out 8-man matchups for tonight. That will include Clifton Clyde at home against Lincoln. The Eagles last week, of course, shutting out Lynn. And Lincoln – been pretty good the last few years. I don't know much about them this year.
I don't know much about Lincoln either. What I do know is that was a very good win for Clifton Clyde. against Lynn.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You know,
in the manner they did it, especially.
Yeah, and they shut them out. So I'm going to assume that Clifton Clyde may have a little something rolling. Lincoln, I just don't know that much about. Again, like you said, they are 2-0. They've beaten Tesket and Sylvan, and I don't know anything about either one of those teams. So I think a good matchup for Clifton Clyde tonight.
For the second straight week, Axtell goes out of state to play. They take it on Pawnee City, Nebraska. It's the second straight team that they've taken on north of the border. They won last week over Lewiston 60-12. They're getting some attention, as they should, across the state in 8-man football, too.
They are. They opened up the season against Hanover, and, of course, Hanover very, very good once again. But they did put up 22 points on Hanover, so and then pounded Lewiston. I don't know anything about Pawnee City, so Axtell, I think, will continue to get some looks.
Frankfurt at home against Burlingame. Frankfurt last week lost to Hanover, but they're 1-1 going into week number 3. And the Wildcats, that's a team that's got some size, some depth, and some speed working for them, too.
Yeah, I think so. And, Burlingame is going to come into this undefeated. But, again, this is a team from down in the Lyon County League that I just don't know anything about, and I don't know anything about their opponents. So I do know that Frankfurt, I think, if they can get it going, they're pretty good. They beat a pretty good Clifton Clyde team.
Blue Valley and Lynn flip this weekend. Both play at Tesket. Now, let me explain.
Yeah.
Blue Valley tonight does play the host Tesket squad. That'll be kicking off at 7 like normal. Lynn plays Hodgman County tomorrow at Tesket, so kind of an odd schedule.
It is an odd schedule, and Blue Valley 1-1. They're coming off a win against a Wichita prep school that I don't know much about. They lost early in the year to Wakefield when they were at full strength. Lynn, on the other side, I told you earlier, I don't know how they got into this series with Hodgman County. But at least
they'd like to get out.
At least they're meeting halfway, so they won't play till tomorrow. Lynn just needs to get a little something going. They've only scored twice on the year, so we'll see what they can do.
11-man Twin Valley League football. Valley Heights at home against Troy. Last week it was a 35-34 heartbreaker to Donovan West for the Mustangs.
That's a good Donovan West team, too. That's a team that's ranked, and they're undefeated. So Valley Heights, I think, probably feeling pretty good about themselves. I mean, they're 0-2. They lost to Centralia in a pretty close game. They lose by 1 to Donovan West. Now they get to go up against Troy, and it's not going to get any easier. Troy beat Centralia.
All Troy did was end a 28-game win streak at the TVL by the Panthers.
Yeah, they beat Centralia by 3. Now, they did get beat by Washington County, so I think that's a pretty good matchup. That will probably be a pretty good game.
Centralia, by the way, matches up against Onega. The Buffaloes just got shut out by Washington County last week, 45-0. So the Tigers are off and running in a good season.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Washington County's pretty good. Because they're playing pretty well, and they've beaten some good teams. Centralia tripped up a little bit by Troy, but again, I think that's a pretty good Troy team. I look for Centralia to get things back on track.
Let's move to the Mid-East League. What a matchup for Riley County. The Falcons have started off undefeated, 2-0, 2 good wins. Last week over, they hosted Olpe and won 55-30. Now they take on Silver Lake, and it's at the Eagles.
Well, and I think Riley County's going into this game thinking they have a chance and thinking they can play a good game against an extremely good Silver Lake team. Again, big shock that Silver Lake is that good. But, Riley County's not going in scared. I guarantee you that. They're going in, they're going to compete, and I look for them to compete.
It'll be a fun game over there at Silver Lake. NCKL football tonight, Abilene at Concordia. The Cowboys have started off 2-0. They are state ranked. The Panthers lost week 1, then beat St. Mary's in a shutout last week, 35-0. And it's in Con. It's always a big game when Abilene, especially the way they're playing over the past 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years. They've had quite a run in Abilene with the state rankings and really, really good football.
Well, in Abilene, they stumbled a little bit against Marysville. They did shut them out. Don't get me wrong. They beat them 21-0, but that was a game that really could have got away from them in a hurry. They had trouble holding on to the ball. On the other side, so did Concordia. They were
both games.
Yeah, they were against St. Mary's and Beloit, and they beat St. Mary's 35-0. They turned the ball over 5 times, and you cannot do that. I promise you can't do that against Abilene. They'll both be ready. I like this matchup.
I do too.
I think this will be a good one.
And talk about a head scratcher. Wamego 0-2. Goes to Marysville, who's 1-1. They broke that big snide in the week 1 of the season, and this is in the Black Squirrel City. I think this is a toss-up.
Well, I think it is too, and Wamego's really struggling, and like you said, what's going on here.
Yeah.
They lose to Rock Creek. They lose to Jeff West. And I'm going to say this every week. I called it that Marysville would break that streak, and I thought they were a team to look out for in the NCKL. I think Marysville beats Wamego tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be it's on the road for the Red Raiders.
You think the crowd in Marysville is not going to be
They'll be ready
for this
for
and
a
the players
league
on the
win?
field?
Yeah,
So,
be huge.
But keep in mind, Wamego's looking to get back on track. If they do, they're going to be tough to stop.
Chapman 2-0 comes into Clay Center tonight. I know you'll be on hand on the
Yeah.
PA and as a dad and all things involved. So this also is a really good league matchup, I think.
Well, I think it is too. And Chapman really has some things rolling. They're 2-0. That was a quality win against a great Southeast Saline team. They do a lot of good things. Arguably one of the better linemen in the state,
Right.
in Jason Zook, that everybody looks out for. But they're talented across the board. They're not big. They match up pretty well with Clay Center. I think they like to spread it out a little more than Clay Center does. But this is a good matchup. Clay Center put it together against Rock Creek and played one of the better games I've seen in a while against a very good Rock Creek team. So I think this will be a good matchup. I think we've got some good NCKL matchups tonight.
I across the board, I agree. I know you will, but I'll say it anyway. Enjoy your football Friday.
Oh, I will.
More pregame on the way. Stay tuned.
Hey folks, Bill Rice from the Green Team. We have a great selection of used and program SUVs in stock. How about this? A 2015 Jeep Patriot with only 19,000 miles on it for $16,975 or $248 a month. Or a beautiful little Buick Encore, local trade-in for only $321 a month. Or how about the 2013 Chevy Equinox with only 51,000 miles for $292 a month. This is with approved credit. Come check us out at the Green Team, 802 West Crawford in Clay Center.
What's next after harvest? Central Valley Ag suggests fall weed control.
Some of those weeds are winter annual weeds, and the best time for us to get a hold of those is by controlling those in the fall.
CVA agronomist Mike Swingman says getting rid of weed patches now can add profit next year.
So you have a clean seed bed to start next year.
Clean fields mean better yields. Control your weeds this fall for a better harvest next year. Contact Central Valley Ag right away.
Central Valley Ag, where the customer comes first.
Home sweet home. It's everything you've dreamt of until the water heater breaks down, the roof needs replaced, the picket fence takes a hit, a pipe bursts, and the basement floods. Whew. That's when you call your friends at United Bank and Trust. With years of lending experience and a few home ownership hurdles of their own, they can help make it a home sweet home again with the Home Sweet Loan. Home improvement loans from United Bank and Trust. You bank, we deliver. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Twin Valley is proud to announce their free Twin Valley Wi-Fi zone, available to all fans at Unruh Stadium. With Twin Valley Wi-Fi, you can share the moments from the game with all your friends and family. Listen to the game on the KCLY app, post Instagram pics, tweet updates of the game, and update Facebook all for free without using your valuable cellular data. Enjoy the game and go Tigers from your friends at Twin Valley.
It's an NCKL opener for the Clay Center Tigers from the Den as they host the Chapman Irish. Clay Center coming off their first win of the season at Rock Creek. Chapman rolls in at 2-0. An NCKL clash from the Den. Pre-game is here, being brought to you by Clay County National Bank, B&D Sandblasting and Painting, and State Farm Insurance, David Borgeting agent. Stay tuned. Our pre-game talk with Coach Todd Rice is on the way next.
When you're a student athlete, you carry a lot of responsibility because you represent not only yourself, but also your family, your school, and your community. So whether you're in the classroom or on the court or field, take pride in what you do, persist in your endeavors, and work hard to achieve your goals. These qualities will help you succeed and find fulfillment, not only now, but also in the next chapters of your life. We're proud to support you, Tigers. We're Clay County National Bank, member FDIC.
Knowing that we'll be fine tomorrow gives us great peace of mind today. That's why it's so important to ensure your future and your family's. State Farm can help you do it, thanks to their financial services and agents who can personally advise you on which plans better suit you. Continue enjoying your lifestyle, invest in your business or yourself, and ensure your children's education. Get to a better state. Call David Borgerding at 632-5642 or visit him at 428 Lincoln Avenue in Clay Center.
Football season is the favorite time of year for the guys at B&D Sandblasting and Painting. They specialize in sandblasting stock trailers, hay trailers, and semi-grain trailers. They can make your old trailer look like new and maintain its function and value with their high-quality primer and paint. B&D are also experts at installing seamless guttering on your home or business. When their work is done, you can bet they'll be at the football game supporting the Tigers. Give B&D Sandblasting and Painting a call at 632-0696.
Back on Tiger pregame, joined now by the head coach of the Clay Center Tigers, Todd Rice. Coach, first win is always big for a team, but the manner in which your guys made it happen last Friday I think is really important. I guess I would call it a high-character win, if you will. Your guys just overcame some big swings in that ball game to find a way to get the win.
Yeah, they really did. You know, we talked going in, you know, Rock Creek is a real ball control offense and, you know, really going momentum and stuff. And our guys came out and, you know, really, you know, took a lot of punches in that first quarter, but just kept plugging away.
You talk about ball control, Coach. 319 yards you guys racked up on the ground and tremendous balance at Rock Creek. We talk about your backs a lot, and obviously they deserve a bunch of that credit for the way they run the football, but I'm going to give a chance for you to talk a little bit about your offensive line. It just seems to me they're really starting to gel together right now.
I think so. Just, you know, real aggressiveness up front, playing with a great pad level, and I was real pleased with the execution of those guys.
You guys get a 319 yards on the ground. You get some big plays in a passing game, which you didn't need to go to a lot. And I'm going to go back to the balance of your offense once again. You had 4 guys, I believe, over 50 yards running the football to rack those yardage up. I mean, Tyler Young had a big game, had the 180-yard run, goes over 100 yards individually, but there were a lot of weapons that Rock Creek couldn't figure out which one they needed to key on.
Yeah, that's one of the real beauties of this offense, you know, being able to distribute it around. And then, you know, when you're running triple option, you never know on any given play who might be carrying the ball and stuff. So, you know, it's kind of exciting to see that many guys contribute, that many guys involved. I thought our perimeter blocking was, you know, much improved, and we showed some real physicality out there, and I think that really opened some things up, too.
You take on a Chapman Irish team tonight, Coach, that is 2-0. They've gotten off to a really good start. Their Week 2 win against Southeast Saline, I know you referred to it as a quality win. That everyone knows the name Jason Zook, and they should. But I've heard you say, as we talked earlier this week, this team's just really good from top to bottom.
They are. They're just really sound. They got a new coaching staff this year, which I think their guys in the past have done a great job, but they've kind of changed some things up. They're more of a inside-outside zone scheme. It kind of looks like the old Blue Valley type of zone system from back in the day. Defensively, a lot of 4-3 principles. They're going to bring some different schematic things than what we've seen the first couple weeks, and you know, they're just real sound. They play real well together. You know, and probably one of the best overall Chapman teams I've seen since I've been here.
It's got to be exciting to come off that win and play as well as you did, and then jump right into league play, the first NCKL game of the season. Guys, I'm sure to get back home and to open up league play coming off a win, this week's had to be exciting for the guys.
It has. There's been a little bit more of a bounce in their step. You know, last week we knew that was going to be a war to match and play at that physicality. And, you know, our guys did a great job doing that. And I think seeing all the things come through, being able to fight through the adversity and all that, you know, hopefully has brought some confidence that's going to play well for us down the road.
A fun one Friday, Coach. Let's go get them again tonight.
All right, thanks a lot.
We're back with more on pregame. Chet's Keys to the Game coming up next.
This harvest, producers that planted one of the high-quality wheat varieties or a blend from oldie seed are recording significantly better yield results. Varieties like Hot Rod, WB 4458, and WB Cedar are high-yielding wheat varieties that deliver exceptional yields and good test weights. If you want the highest quality seed, make it a point to plant an oldie seed wheat variety or blend this fall. Call Oldie Seed at 877-692-4555.
I was sorting through my papers on my desk when in walked Roscoe. Where have you been?
They canceled our reruns due to the general lease, so I don't have anyone to chase.
Well, maybe now you'll have time to get your office organized. Central Office Service and Supply has a whole warehouse full of good used office desks, filing cabinets, and bookshelves at low prices.
Woo-wee! These drawers really work smoothly, and some even have locks. Best of all, I get to stay inside out of the heat.
Central Office in Clay Center. We deliver both new and used furniture.
Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep is a proud supporter of Tiger football. Get to Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and test drive the 29-mile-per-gallon Ram truck and save during Ram Truck Month. Need an SUV? How about the 30-mile-per-gallon Jeep Grand Cherokee? For 47 years, Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep has treated you like family because our family name is on the door. Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep on West Anderson in Manhattan or online at schrammcars.com. Go Tigers!
Marty here at Bud's Tire Service. Fall is the perfect time to get out there and kick up some dirt, so dust off your wallets and get a $50 or $70 MasterCard rewards card when you buy a set of 4 new select BF Goodrich tires. Hurry, offer only valid August 31st to September 27th. Like the Tiger football team, we are ready to kick off the fall right here at Bud's Tire Service. See redemption form for complete details. Void where prohibited. Reward card issued by U.S. Bank pursuant to license from MasterCard International Incorporated.
What started as a gray, cloudy, dreary Friday has turned into a sun-splashed football Friday night from Otto Wonders Stadium. Welcome to the Den. Rocky Downing along with our studio engineer, Garrett Pearson. We have Chet Carlson alongside, about ready for kickoff. 4 minutes away from this opening kick of the NCKL season. They're about to announce the Tiger starting lineups right now. 70 degrees, sun-splashed on a football Friday from Otto Wonders Stadium. Chet, it does not get a whole lot better than this right here.
Absolutely not. It's the third week of the season. You know, every team that's playing tonight is starting to try to figure out where they're gelling, you know, and get their games together. It's no different at this town, at this stadium. Beautiful night out here. The sun's shining, and it's a nice temp.
And it's the NCKL opener. All 6 teams matched up against one another tonight here in Otto Wonders Stadium. It's the Chapman Irish who come in at 2-0, Chet, and they played well. They beat Circle, beat them up in the opening game. Last week, a really good Southeast Saline team, the Chapman Irish, would come away with a kind of an odd win, 14-10. It was 8-7 Southeast Saline after one quarter. It was 10-7. The only points in the second quarter of safety that Chapman gave up, and then eventually the Irish would come away with the win in the closing moments and a 14-10 football game scoring in the final quarter. This Irish team is good. They have been good for the last few years. They started to turn the corner really 4 years ago, it seemed like. Then the last 2 to 3 years, they really started to scare some people and play some good football. A brand new coaching staff, and they may have actually kicked it up a notch, it seems like, this season.
Well, you know, if you're from Clay Center and you're listening, and even if you played, or especially if you played at any time in the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you know, it doesn't matter which league team is mentioned, you have an immediate opinion about it. Chapman, it varies all over the board because they have had great teams, they've had bad teams, they've had big teams, they've had talentless teams. They have been all over the map. You know, there's certain teams that are always a dynasty, certain teams that are always down. Chapman can be anywhere from the top to the bottom. It depends which year you played football. The last few years, they've been coming up. They have a new coach, and they have a couple of key players that'll make a difference.
It's actually very funny you bring that up, and maybe it's because you've had the same thing happen to you this week. We get approached by a lot of different people throughout the week, and we love that because we get to talk Tiger football for a little bit. What do you think about this week? And you say it's Chapman, that they're really good right now. Some will say, yeah, I can see that. Some will say Chapman, and it's a surprise because when they were in school, maybe they weren't so good. And so it's really interesting to see the reactions when you say, this is a good Chapman football team. They've got a D1 talent guy in Jason Zook. That's the name everybody talks about. This team is really solid from top to bottom. Let's talk about Chet's keys to the game as we get into this football game.
Well, I got 2 for each side of the ball, 2 for the offense, 2 for the defense, and we'll make them quick. Some of these seem obvious, but some of them are more important after watching last week. First one, win the line of scrimmage. Get that offensive line moving downhill. That's what happened last week. That's why we won that game. Part of it was because we took over on turnovers last week and scored off of 3 turnovers. But it was because the offensive line won at the line of scrimmage. We gave the entire offensive line the block of the game because of their performance last week. So that's my first key of the game. We got to get those guys across the front five working, and if they're working, it'll make a big difference. The second is control that time of possession and move the chain. Move over to the defensive side. We got to stop number 40 tonight. He gets more than 55% of their carries and much more than that in their yardage. Now, you hate to key on one player. We just got to stay honest on the rest of the field. Stop number 40, stay honest on the rest of the field. I think we'll be okay over there. I think we have some defensive schemes that our defense is excited about. Hopefully we'll match up good, because that's going to be the key there. And my final point, my key of the game, and this is a fun one, make them punt 6 times tonight. If we make Chapman punt 6 times tonight, I feel good about our chance.
You know, last week we talked so much about assignment down, tackle the guy you're supposed to tackle, whether he has the football or not. Right. It is a different key tonight. Right. Robert Streck is that good. He's 300-plus yards on the season. Now, 235 came in week 1 against Circle. Week 2, he was held to, I think, under 60 yards of offense on the ground. So they keyed on him. They made it a tight football game. Obviously, that's a key for a lot of teams to shut down number 40, just as Chet said. And we'll keep a track on those punts tonight for the Chapman Irish. If the Tigers can force 6, Chet says this win should be in the books. And I like that stat. It's a neat idea.
I like our chances. If we make them punt 3 times each half, I like our chances with the offense that I've watched the last 2 weeks.
Boy, and against Rossville, the Tigers were really good. We talked about it. People said, really? It was 48-13 ball game. We said, no, trust us. Rossville's that good. Last week we saw it come to fruition, at least for 1 week. The Tiger offense really dominated that football game.
I felt like we did, and I really liked it. We had pretty good confidence against a brutal team in week 1.
Right.
And I liked watching it grow as the game went on last week.
Tigers will kick off to begin this football game, so Chapman will be back to receive this opening kickoff here again on a sunny now football Friday night. It was gray and dreary all day long. It was neat to see the sunshine come out. I think the fans will have a fun night this evening. Temperature's perfect for a mid-September football Friday. This is pretty good stuff.
You know, one town you and I both like a lot is San Diego. I always joke that's where all the retired senile weathermen go, because all they have to know is it's 70 degrees and sunny. We have 70 degrees and sunny right
Perfect. Now. That's right. Levi Fitzemeyer has the tasty pastry kickoff, and we are underway here on a football Friday. The kick's going to be taken by an up back at around the 20 or 18-yard line. Return to the right side, down to the edge right, out to the 40. Will go to the return man. The tackle's going to be made by Riley Griggs. The return that time from Christian Blatt, who you'll hear in the offensive set as well for the Irish. Let's look at the Tiger defense to begin. Play center starts up front tonight on the defensive end with Dylan Carlson, Parker Folks, Garrett Craig gets the start, and Balin Brumfield at the end. The linebackers are Adam Ebert, Jace Casper, Gabe Ware, and Hunter Mullen. The defensive backfield is Brady Milliken, Peyton Lane to start tonight, and Lane Lively is the free safety. Quarterback is Chandler Sweet for the Irish. He stands in a shotgun right now with 2 receivers to the left side and 2 receivers staggered to the right. He is back to pass on first down. Sands throws out to the left side and short hops his receiver. Hunter Mullen had the defensive coverage. He was trying to hit Blatt, who just had the return. He short hops him. It's going to be second down and 10.
Second and 10, and I got to comment on something already. We've been talking about Garrett Craig the last 2 weeks. We're excited he has a start tonight. The 180-pound sophomore on the defensive line. He was lined up across from Jason Zook on that first play. You know, coming in at 6'4", 272.
Here's Sweet out of the gun again, this time running at left side. He takes it off the edge left, and he's going to be met by 2 Tiger defenders. First, it was Adam Ebert. Parker Folks finished the deal. Dylan Carlson in on the play as well. But I'll tell you what, Parker Folks right there made a punch at the end of the play.
He really did. He made a hard hit. But what also put a little spring in the step of a bunch of that defensive unit is the fact that a lot of them got to help him finish that play. And I saw guys coming back prancing, and they're ready to go on 3rd and long.
The plays that went for 4 yards, so it's 3rd down and 6, just underway here in the opening quarter. Sweet's going to pitch out left side, Streck for the first time, hit once, now hit twice, and he is dumped. Jace Casper, the freak, makes the tackle. Dylan Carlson in there helping as well. It's a short yardage gain. It'll bring up 4th down and 3.
Now they're getting near midfield. You know, we got to keep them honest. They're bringing the punt team on. We got to make sure they punt the ball. This could be the first of the 6 I want to see tonight.
I'm hoping that it's the first of many, but that would be a great start for the Tigers. They are in punt formation, 4th down and 3, maybe 4 yards to go. They are going to boot it away. Tyler Young is back deep. End over end kick. It's good about short. The Tigers will take over at their own 33-yard line. So a great start defensively for the Tigers, and punt number 1 on Chet Keys to the game. The Tiger offense takes the field now. At quarterback is Cade Wallace. His running backs are Gabe Ware, Adam Ebert, Tyler Young will be in there on the offensive side. Also, you'll see Jace Casper on the right tackle, Parker Folks, the right guard. The center is McCade Melius. To the left is Jacob Blackburn and Dylan Carlson. Balin Brumfield, Brady Milliken on the receivers. Tigers have Chapman jumping offside. A hard count by Cade Wallace. That's going to bring up a 5-yard penalty against the Irish. It'll be first down and 5. Great start for the Tigers now on both sides of the football.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. You know, when a defense is all punching at the bit and ready to go, and on the very first play of the game, you make them get an offside penalty, all of a sudden it's first and 5, and they might be a little bit more tentative on the line, on the snap of the ball.
I mentioned the Tiger wingbacks. Adam Ebert is there. Riley Griggs to start tonight on the offensive side. So it's first down and 5 after the penalty yardage on a early jump on the Chapman Irish defensive side. Brumfield comes in tight now on the left, and one receiver right, that's Milliken. In motion goes Griggs. It's Cade Wallace. He's going to keep it on the option and gets maybe 2 yards forward before being pushed backwards, but it brings up second down and short as the Tigers near the 40-yard line. It looks like it's marked just across the 40.
I like anytime we can go with like 2nd and 3, and I think that's what we're looking at here. I like our chances to pick up a first down in the next 2 downs.
Tigers going fairly quick motion right now, in tempo anyway. They got the Irish to pull off sides on that first play, and they went fairly quick. Of course, the call for the Tigers is no huddle. They look at those wristbands and get the play. Wallace under center. Griggs goes in motion from right to left. They will hand off underneath. There's Gabe Ware. Dives forward. The hit from the sticks gets it near the first down yardage marker, and they're going to mark him just shy by about a 1-yard mark. It'll be third down and still a yard to go. And I know that Greg Ware, listening right now, his plan was to be here tonight. And Greg, we wish the world you could be here with us. We'll do the best we can to paint a Tiger win tonight. And a good picture here from Otto Wonders Stadium. Gabe with a good strong run there to start things off. Third down, less than a yard on the opening series for the Tigers on offense after they stopped Chapman on 3 and out. Third down and short. Wallace, pitch out left. He's got Riley Griggs, and he will bounce off a tackle, spin and fall forward out to the 45. That's first and 10 Tigers. And how about the sophomore Griggs getting outside left, bouncing off the first contact, then getting ahead for the first down.
There was 2 great things on that play. First, the pitch was made perfect. Riley come out. He made a good tee off of his block. And then secondly, he broke a tackle. He kind of got swung around. He needed a half a yard. He got 3.
In my correction, I said sophomore junior Riley Griggs with that carry to the left side. First down and 10 Tigers. Football marked right at the 45-yard line for the Clay Center Tigers. Cade Wallace has Lane Lively now at receiver to the left side. Receiver right as well. In motion goes Ebert. They will take the handoff. Wallace keeps it, gets across the midfield stripe. That'll be a gain of 5, maybe 6 yards on first down. It's second down and 4 Tigers. The Murph, Cade Wallace, takes it across the midfield line.
Love it. I love the decisions being made in there. I love the tempo. You know, the tempo has a way of working itself out here. But, the Tigers are trying to establish a tempo early.
Cade Wallace looks to the sideline to get the call. Both Coach Mark Henry and Coach J.D. Lane give those signals in. One the real call, one the fake call, and the Tigers know which to look at. Wallace under center. Ebert in motion, left to right. Underneath handoff, though, Wallace keeps it again, and will be a short yardage gain. He faked it to Gabe Ware and actually gets out near the 48, maybe 49-yard line. This will be third down and maybe a yard, maybe 2 to go.
Well, we want this offense to get running downhill. We want our offensive line to control the line of scrimmage. Part of what will help that happen is a lot of different looks. And we've shown them a number of different offensive plays in the first 5 plays so far.
Third down 2, Cade Wallace marking at his offense to the left and right side, maybe checking down to a play here. 3rd and 2. In motion, they will hand it off underneath. Wallace again keeps it. He's got first down yardage and a little bit more. He'll take it to the 42-yard line. First and 10 Tigers. 2 things, Chet, you brought up before the football game. The 6 punts, I love the stat. We've got 1 already. And time of possession.
Yeah.
The Tigers doing that too right now.
Oh, I like both of it. And part of that's going to be controlled by this pace, this cadence, and just this ball control. And, and part of that, control the time of possession and move those chains. We moved them twice.
Mark at the 42-yard line. Tigers at Chapman's 42. First down and 10. Wallace under center, works it left, hands off to Gabe Ware. Hard fought yardage. He gets across the 40, then pulled backward by Jason Zook. But forward progress will get him to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of 3, second down and 7.
Well, he's spotting, Gabe Ware's spotting Jason Zook 103 pounds, I think it is right there, something like that. You know, and everything Gabe got, he got in the first half of that run.
Well, they say this is actually marked just across the 40, so it's a gain of just 1, second down and 9. Looks like he had gotten forward before Zook pushed him back. Now they'll pitch it out right side. Ebert breaks by 1 tackle. He gets the block from Tyler Young. He's across the 35-yard line, down to the 30, and then a penalty flag comes in late as Ebert was close to first down yardage. We'll see what the penalty is late on this play.
I think it's a horse collar.
And it will be against Chapman. That's going to be an illegal tackle. The horse collar call, as Chet said, and that'll tack on yardage to the end of the run. That's going to be first and 10 now for the Tigers again.
I felt pretty confident that it was not a blocking penalty because we only had 2 guys out there, and their blocks were before that flag was thrown. And it had to be at the tackle. And then as I saw that come in, it's going to be big on the end of this run.
6:32 to work. We're in the opening quarter. Scoreless thus far. Tigers top Chapman on 3 straight downs. Got the punch. Now they've driven inside of the 40-yard line. They have it marked at the 20-yard line is where it's marked down at, first down and 10. Right on the 19 of Chapman is where the ball is spotted. Cade Wallace again looks to the sideline, now talks to his team. They check their wristbands. Tyler Young in there, motioning left. They'll hand off underneath to Gabe Ware. He gets it near the 15-yard line. That should be a gain of maybe 3 or 4 and brings up second down. 6:05 to work. The Tigers, such great balance last week against Rock Creek. 319 rushing yards, but 5 guys had 50 or more yards apiece in that football game.
And that was a key stat for last week's
2-yard game. They call it second down and 8. Well, they had it marked closer to the 15-yard line. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go. Where the lone back behind Wallace. In motion goes Young, and a penalty flag before the play gets going.
That's not a good sign. That'll be procedure on the Tigers.
So they'll back him up 5 yards and bring up second down, and now 13 to go. And the football back outside of Chapman's 20-yard line with 5:38 to work opening quarter.
Well, we're in the infamous red zone, and this is where we have to make points. We have to cash in on where we are on the field, and you know this is where we do it. We started this drive on the 33-yard line.
Milliken right, that's the short side of the field. Brumfield left. Although he split off the line, he is tight in the formation. Then you have Ebert and Young, the wingbacks. Gabe Ware behind Cade Wallace, who's about to go in under center McCade Melius. Second down, 13 to go for the Tigers. It's at Chapman's 22-yard line. Wallace with Young in motion, right to left. They'll pitch out left, first time for Young to touch it, trying to turn the corner. He's to the 20. 15-yard line, driven out of bounds. But he goes inside the 15. That picks up the penalty yardage and some more. Third down and about 5 yards maybe left to go. We'll see where the official spot is marked down at.
Right. He got a little bit he got more yards there than I thought, you know, because it was a good-looking play on this side of the field, but we had 5 yards to make up from the penalty as well. But now we're looking at 3rd and 5, and I like our chances here from the 13-yard line.
Scoreless tie in the opening quarter, 5:12 to work. He went out of bounds, but the clock does stop. Ebert and Young continue in as the wingbacks. Brumfield and Milliken the receivers. Wallace takes it underneath, keeps it, now drives forward. He stopped short of first down yardage. He'll be marked down at the 11-yard line with 5:05 to work. The Tigers will be faced with 4th down and about 2 to go. So a decision time here, 4th place center. It appears there is no decision. They've already made that.
4th and about 2, and we're lining up pretty quick.
4th down, 2 to go. Up to the line, but not yet into a play. Now the play call is brought in. Cade Wallace will walk up to the line of scrimmage. Check with his teammates again, and now recheck to the sideline. 4:35 to work, opening quarter. 4th down, 2. Wallace pitch out left. Young, he's got some yardage. He's got maybe a touchdown. He dives forward. Did he get there? Touchdown, Tigers. Money to the house again. Diving at the last second to stretch the football out across the goal line, and the Tigers go on top 6-0.
That was a beautiful run. I was only worried about him getting first down. We're going for it on 4th and 2. He not only got the first down, he got the touchdown.
pitched out left, and he had a couple of blockers out with him on that side. I know Balaam Brumfield was the wideout that was blocking in front. I believe the wingback in front of him was Adam Ebert. Now for the extra point try is Peyton Lane. Tigers lead it 6-0. Hunter Mullen is the holder. Snapper's there. Places down. The kick is up, and it is good. Tigers lead it 7-0. 4:28 remains. Opening quarter. The Tigers strike first. They'll kick it off when we come back to the dinner.
Welcome to Subway. What can I make for you?
I want to mix things up a bit.
How about one of our delicious Reuben sandwiches? Loaded with your choice of tender corned beef or oven-roasted turkey breast.
I like where you're going with this.
They're fresh toasted with melty Swiss cheese and topped with sauerkraut and Thousand Island dressing. All on your choice of freshly baked bread.
Sounds perfect.
Coming right up. The Subway Reubens won't be here long, so try one today. Subway. Eat fresh.
Limited time only at participating restaurants.
A new Farmway Co-op diesel fueling site opened in Clay Center at 516 6th Street, bringing a convenient, safe, and familiar Farmway fueling experience to the entire community. The diesel fuel site is open 24/7 with a Farmway fuel card or any major credit card. Customers can also use a Farmway fuel card at Bud's Tire and Ray's Apple Market, both fuel partners with Farmway Co-op. Farmway invites fleets and consumers in the area to experience it today.
Your partner in growth.
The Tigers go in on an 11-yard run from Tyler Young, and that puts the Tigers on top 7-0. Peyton Lane the point after, and Playcenter strikes early. Great defensive starts, great time of possession, and what a way to finish on 4th and 2 to take it in from 11 out.
Yeah, absolutely. We needed to convert that 4th down, And with that said, Tyler just went on into the end zone with it. He had a couple of good blocks. 6 minutes and 2 seconds for the Tigers on that possession.
Tasty pastry kickoff's going to be taken in by an up at the 25-yard line. Return to the right side. Brady Milliken pops the ball loose and gets on top of it. That's Tiger football. That's all Brady Milliken. He made the hit, started loose, and recovered on the sideline. The senior with a big-time play for the Tigers.
And he had the whisker of about 2 blades of grass before that ball went out of bounds. What a great hit. The ball come out, and he made the hit, he made the recovery, and then he rolled out of bounds.
The trifecta by Brady Milliken. They knock it loose, make the tackle, and they come up with the football. The Tigers have a short field. They'll have it at Chapman's 36-yard line. 4:20 left here in the opening period. Under center goes Cade Wallace. Gabe Ware behind him. Ebert starts in motion right. Back to pass for the first time. Wide open downfield is Milliken. The catch is made. Touchdown Tigers. The senior takes it in. He forced the fumble and recovered. And Murph hit Milliken on the money. Wide open for 6. It's 13-0 Tigers.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful pass, beautiful catch. He had such great separation from that defensive back, and it was just played perfectly. That was a 7-second time of possession. It's getting it done in a hurry for the Tigers, and take advantage when the turnover happens. Now, Peyton Lane on. He's 5 of 6 for extra points on the season. This to put the Tigers on top 14-0. Here's the kick on its way. He boots it up, and it is no good. They say it must have went wide left on this one. Tigers, though, up 13-0. A quick strike after the turnover and the touchdown from Cade Wallace to Brady Milliken. 4:11 left, opening half. Tigers lead 13-0.
Plan ahead for a comfortable and safe winter by contacting Propane Central today. They'll discuss your propane needs and set up a delivery schedule that ensures you have propane when you need it. Choose from one of their flexible payment plans and automatic payment options, and you'll know why their customers agree. Propane Central offers worry-free propane service.
Crop Production Services offers the best quality corn and soybean seed lineup that truly fit your acres and the way you farm. Year after year, top-performing brands such as Asgrow, DeKalb, Dynagrow, and Mycogen turn top yields in field trials. Get expert agronomic advice, responsive service, and consistent fair pricing from Crop Production Services. Early cash and volume discounts and financing options available. Visit with Pat, Josh, Doug, and Sheldon for all your corn and soybean seed needs.
Well, if you could script your opening game in the NCKL, Chet, I don't think you could even write this stuff up. I mean, this has been a heck of a start for the Tigers.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've got to keep track of all these awards of the game. Let's just write down Brady Milliken right now.
No doubt. The forced fumble, the recovery. Now the coverage for the Tigers on the kickoff by Levi Fitzemeyer is going to be knocking down the Irish at the 35-yard line. Milliken, we talked about with the tackle and forced fumble, recovered it before going out of bounds. The very next play, they go right back to him, and Cade Wallace hit him in stride. But Chapman blew that coverage. I think they were still shell-shocked from turning the football over a little bit there.
Oh, absolutely. And, here's where the Tigers just cashed in on a turnover. A little quicker than last week, but into point.
Chandler Sweet working at left side. He's going to keep it himself, hitting the backfield, and drops in the backfield. The tackle made by Gabe Ware. The hit from the sticks going to drop him for a loss of yards on the opening play.
Oh, Gabe Ware came into that backfield. The Chapman quarterback was alone on an island, and Gabe Ware closed on him fast and dropped him.
I said a loss of yardage. It'll be no gain on the play. Second down and 10. What a defensive effort, though, by the middle linebacker, the senior, Gabe Ware. Second down, 10 for the Irish. 3:33 to go opening quarter. Tigers lead it here, 13-0 to start. Gavin Ware in there alongside the middle row with Parker Folks. Outside run, Robert Streck. Dylan Carlson slowed him down, to the Tigers will take care of the rest. Gabe Ware again on the tackle. Carlson made the initial hit. Then Ware and Balin Brumfield make the play. By the way, that's Jabalian Clowney Brumfield, the defensive end for the Tigers.
Well, I said we got to stop number 40. That's Robert Streck. He's a good player, but they give the ball to him so much. We had 5 guys on that tackle.
Third down and 7 now for the Irish. Sweet from the gun. Works it left side. Handoff underneath. There's a cut to the middle. Tigers stuff it up pretty nicely. Strecko breaks the tackle and dives forward for the first down. The Tigers had him, it appeared, almost corralled. That's how dangerous the senior back is. Streck, just 5'7", 150, but he can dance around and make people miss.
Well, and because he cut back and he was able to pick up a little bit of yardage in the middle, Chapman's moving the chains for the first time tonight.
The first down. I remember they punted on their first possession. They fumbled on the kickoff return after the Tigers had scored. And so now 1st and 10, it's at their own 40, 70-yard line. 2.5 to go. First quarter, Tigers on top, 13-0. Sweet, empty backfield. Back to pass. Hands in the pocket. Brumfield pressures. Downfield pass is going to be overthrown. A penalty flag. Peyton Lane, Lane Lively, both on coverage. There was a bump as Lane went for the football. They're going to call a penalty flag against the Tigers. I think Lively's actually called on this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one, and I understand the call. It's an unfortunate call. Nobody did anything wrong on either side, and wouldn't have caught the ball, but I'd have called it too if I was officiating.
There was contact. Yeah. Abraham Mahoney was the intended receiver, and there was contact, just incidental, but it interrupted the pass route.
Right.
And so it's hard for the official not to make that call.
Right.
And I agree with you, Chet. It's the right call.
It's the right call. It did make a difference on the incomplete pass, but it's the right call. Chapman has another first down.
Now at the Tigers' 38-yard line. One back behind Sweet. He will hand off to Streck. Runs underneath. He is hit by Ware again. Then Chase Casper finishes it off. How about 2 middle linebackers? The hit from the sticks and the three making the play.
Oh, I love it. We're going to see the physicalness of the defense take a step up, I think, every play throughout this game. It's going to be one of those kinds of games.
We talked about Zook, and he is a terrific player at 6'4", 272. This team, though, overall, not real big. The Tigers, in fact, would probably, I would say, outsize them. Here's Sweet pitch out right side now. To the right goes Streck, cuts back inside to the 25-yard line. He's tackled from behind by Adam Ebert. Also on the play was Gavin Ware, and I believe Parker Folks may have had a hand in there. It's going to be 3rd down and short.
Adam Ebert made one of those plays on defense where he actually got knocked down on the ground with a block. He got caught off balance and caught from the side. He got knocked down on the ground, and he still made the tackle with very little gain.
3rd down, a yard to go. Chapman marches up to the football. Late entry from the sideline now. They have to relay the play to Christopher Hansen, who had just checked in. 3rd down and 1. Sweet from the gun. 2 backs with him. He's going to run a left optioning. He keeps it now. Pitches late. That ball is open and free. It is scooped and picked up by Peyton Lane. He's to the 50, to the 40. He's to the 25. Nobody's going to catch him. The sophomore, Peyton Lane, has just scooped and scored it. The Tigers right. The pitch went to nobody. And the scoop and score for the sophomore Peyton Lane.
Well, Chandler Swig for Chapman came around the left end that time, and he sticked his left hand out with that pitch, but there was nobody there. And very seldom does the football bounce the way you want it to. But that time it bounced perfect for Peyton Lane. He caught it in stride and took it 70 yards to the house.
Peyton's got to go back out now and try to kick the extra point. The Tigers lead 19-0. I said, Chad, you couldn't write the start the Tigers had. They just added a new chapter to this book that nobody could dream about.
His body just went from aerobic to anaerobic, and he has to kick.
And the kick is going to be blocked. Peyton, who cares?
Right.
You just returned it 62 yards for a defensive scoop and score for the Tigers. 48.5 seconds left. Opening quarter. Tigers lead it 19-0 when we come back.
Headphones, cell phones, portable drives, wireless keyboards, and more. Radio Shack offers awesome tech solutions for everyday use. From batteries and memory cards to auto connectors and cables, you'll find exactly what you're looking for, plus a wide variety of accessories to upgrade your digital equipment. Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy and Radio Shack, enabling everyone to find what they need to connect and power their lives. Downtown Clay Center.
Hey, Todd here, and we just received 31 refrigerators from Whirlpool, and man, are they in nice shape. Stop in and see for yourself if you are thinking of a new appliance and save big. We also are expecting a shipment from General Electric, so the selection will be incredible. Stop in at 423 Lincoln Avenue in beautiful downtown Clay Center, open 7 days a week for you.
The Tigers, with 48.5 seconds left in this football game, have just blown this opening quarter out of proportion right now.
Right. 48.5 seconds to go in the first quarter, and we scored quickly twice off of turnover.
I think I said first half. That's opening quarter, 48.5
game.
Yeah. It's been a game in this first period.
No kidding.
Peyton Lane, 62 yards on the scoop and score on the fumble recovery. The Tigers lead it 19-0.
That kid's still trying to catch his breath.
Levi Fitzenmeyer will kick it off here for the Tigers. And he's been out there a bunch tonight. And that's a good thing for the Tigers. Opening kickoff, they stopped him. Then they got the fumble recovery on a kickoff return after scoring. Then the kickoff or the fumble recovery return for 62 yards on the last play. Here's the kick from Levi Fitzenmeyer. Good taken by Blatt back at the 15-yard line. Return right through the middle. And he's going to run into a Tiger pile, but he gets it across the 35-yard line. Pretty good return by the Irish.
Little over 20 yards, about 22 yards on the return for Chapman that time. We will take that almost any time on a kick return. Tiger down, hobbled up here.
Yeah, we're trying to get a number. It looks like Gabe Ware to me. That's what I thought at first. I'm not sure if that's the 28 that we're seeing, but they're going to come 10-2. We'll get you a number on that for sure on who that is before we state who we think it might be. 37 seconds left, opening period. Clay Center Tigers lead it 19-0 here at Ottawa News Stadium when we come back.
2015 is a monumental year for the Citizens National Bank as it marks their 100th anniversary. Throughout the year, the Citizens National Bank will be celebrating a century of strength and stability with many events and surprises planned. Be sure to like their Facebook page so you can stay on top of all these exciting events. This is a significant milestone of providing personalized service and a century of success. The Citizens National Bank, member FDIC.
When you see the Ray's Apple Market label on products from the deli department, you know they're the freshest breads, pies, pastries, salads, vegetables, and fruits you can find. They're made for great taste, not a long shelf life. The deli department professionals enjoy personalizing your special orders on cakes and cookies. You won't find their signatures on their masterpieces, but they're genuine works of art. If you're looking for freshness, shop the deli and bakery department at Ray's Apple Market.
This harvest, producers that planted one of the high-quality wheat varieties or a blend from oldie seed are recording significantly better yield results. Varieties like Hot Rod, WB 4458, and WB Cedar are high-yielding wheat varieties that deliver exceptional yields and good test weights. If you want the highest quality seed, make it a point to plant an oldie seed wheat variety or blend this fall. Call Oldie Seed at 877-692-4555.
If you've been waiting for low interest rates to get a vehicle, Hanson Ford has some incredible incentives on 2015 certified pre-owned vehicles. A 1.9% APR for up to 66 months is available on Ford Escape, F-150, Focus, and Fusion. Or get a 0.9% APR for 36 months on all eligible Ford and Mercury vehicles. Now through September 30th is your chance to drive away in a select Ford certified pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Rates are low and the selection is outstanding at Hanson Ford and Clay Center.
Well, still an injured Tiger on the field right now, and we're pretty sure it is Gabe Ware. It does appear they're looking down toward the left or the right ankle. At first I thought they were working on the knee, so we're speculating at best, but it did bring Dr. Pyle out to take a look. Coach J.D. Lane, Coach Rice, Coach Henry, and Coach Last all kind of seeing exactly what's going on. They are going to help him up. That's a great sign. Right. And it is Gabe for sure. And he is favoring his, well, I said right, I guess it's his left. And he's trying to put some weight on it. That's also a very good sign. Right. So we'll try to give you the most positives we can as Tiger fans, and certainly as dad sitting and trying to figure out what's going on. I'm sure if he was not biting at the bit earlier, Greg, we understand you would be right now. He's really favoring that left leg and being helped off now by Coach Pyle or Dr. Pyle and Coach Lane. Really trying to put some weight on it, but struggling to do so. So that's the best we can tell you as far as that injury. He is coming off and being helped to the sideline.
At first, they had him staying on his stomach, right? While they were looking at his leg, and then they rolled him over, and then they stood him up, and then he put weight on both legs. But he's favoring his left leg, and he can't put his arm up around the shoulder of Dr. Pyle because there's a foot difference in their height.
Kidding. The Pyle driver, one of the former Tiger legends here. 37 seconds to go. Opening period. Tigers up 19-0. Ball on the ground again. Loose. Jace Casper dove for it. Tigers trying to come up with it, and it appears the Tigers have gotten it again. It is going to be picked up and gathered in by Caleb Minden. Caleb Minden this time got it. Casper got a hand to it, but it was Minden who jumped in below the pile, and the Tigers have forced the third turnover already. First period.
And now I'm keeping a new stat. Wow. I wanted Chapman to punt 6 times. We don't need to punt 6 times if we get 3 turnovers.
So you take the turnovers over the punt anytime. So the Tigers get it back here. First down and 10. It's at the Chapman 41-yard line. 27.9 seconds to go first quarter. Tigers on top, 19-0 with the football again.
And I was pretty sure we were done with possessions in the first quarter.
In motion, Griggs from right to left. Hebert is a running back. They fake to him. Cade Wallace tries to get across the 40. Pushed backwards. Maybe gains a yard. It's second down and 9 to go. Now under 20 seconds left first period.
Boy, any team at any level, Thursday night, any team at any level lives and dies by a turnover, doesn't it? Right now, the Tigers are making a living off of the Chapman turnover.
Yeah, you're right. The Chiefs Nation really thanks you for bringing that back up again. Well, 19-0, Tigers on top. We're through one quarter here in the Den. 19-0. You're listening to Tiger Football on 100.9.
Girton Propane has provided quality service and employment opportunities for over 60 years. Girton is always on the lookout for exceptional company and owner-operator drivers to join their team. If you're a top-notch driver, call Andy at 800-232-0170. Girton transports liquid commodities throughout the 48 states with an emphasis in the Midwest. Girton is committed to excellence, safety, and quality service. Join the Girton team. Call 800-232-0170.
What's next after harvest? Central Valley Ag suggests fall weed control.
Some of those weeds are winter annual weeds, and the best time for us to get a hold of those is by controlling those in the fall.
CVA agronomist Mike Swingman says getting rid of weed patches now can add profit next year.
So you have a clean seed bed to start next year.
Clean fields mean better yields. Control your weeds this fall for a better harvest next year. Contact Central Valley Ag right away.
Central Valley Ag, where the customer comes first.
19-0 Tigers lead it 1 quarter of play, and what a start for Clay Center right now as they have taken 3 turnovers away, a scoop and score turnover, a forced kick return turnover by Brady Milliken that ended up in a touchdown pass of 37 yards, the play following. Peyton Lane, that scoop and score, by the way, and a 4th down conversion for their first score of the night from 11 yards away.
It's all turnovers and all conversions. Here's our next one.
2nd down 9. Hunter Mullen in there in offense. They pitch to him on the right side. Shakes and bakes to the right side, 45-30. He's down to the 28-yard line and thrown out of bounds as he may have picked up first down yardage. It appears that he has on a 2nd and 9. I believe he's gained 10.
You know, Hunter Mullen doesn't like going out of bounds. He wants to keep that play going as long as he can. He got a little bit of an extra throw at the end of that play. But good pickup by Hunter. We're moving the chains.
Tyler Young had a block in front, and actually Hunter went away from it to go outside, but he got the defender to dive in towards the middle. Here's a handoff underneath. This is going to be Ebert, nowhere to go. He's going to be racked up and tackled that time by the Chapman Irish, Justin Holgren. Correction, that is Dustin Lister makes the tackle. No gain, 2nd down 10.
Well, the Tigers have a little bit at stake here. 5 straight turnovers in the last 2 weeks. They're scored off of. This will be the 6th.
Great point. 2nd down, we'll call it 11, just outside the original line of scrimmage after a loss of maybe a yard on that first down carry. From field left, Milliken right. Young in motion. They'll fake the pitch. Wallace goes back right side. Finds Adam Ebert to the 25, breaks the tackle 20. He's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown Tigers. Adam Ebert goes in. A terrific move from the outside to cut back against the grain and take it home from 30 yards away, and the Tigers have gone on top 25-0. How many times in a row have they scored off turnovers, Chad?
6 now in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
6, and what a great cut by Adam Ebert off of that block. Then it was green grass all the way to the couch.
And nobody catches Adam Ebert when he gets that far down the field. We've talked about the Tigers' team speed the last couple of weeks. It's showing itself off tonight on both sides of the football.
This is a tough night to be without our staff.
Tigers are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Wallace, pitch out left. Tyler Young trying to get to the corner. He's going to walk in. 2-point conversion is good, and the Tigers go on top 27-0 against the undefeated Irish in week number 3. It's a 27-0 ball game. 11:06 to go, first half. Stay with us. Tiger football continues on 100.9.
Twin Valley is proud to announce their free Twin Valley Wi-Fi zone, available to all fans at Unruh Stadium. With Twin Valley Wi-Fi, you can share the moments from the game with all your friends and family. Listen to the game on the KCLY app, post Instagram pics, tweet updates of the game, and update Facebook all for free without using your valuable cellular data. Enjoy the game and go Tigers from your friends at Twin Valley.
First comes love, then comes marriage, and then comes a home in Blueprints? Whether you're newly married or just looking to build the home you've always dreamt of, come see the lenders at United Bank and Trust. Making your plans a reality is their business. Whether it's new construction, refinancing, or everything in between, like new roofs or updating that shag carpet, United Bank and Trust is here to help you with quick loan decisions from a local lender you know and trust. United Bank and Trust. You bank, we deliver. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
So the Tigers, wow, what a start to this football game. We keep saying you couldn't script it any better, and then they just keep making it better, Jack.
Oh, man, it's so fun. You know, you don't get many opportunities like this. Now it's 27-0. We're barely into the second quarter. We're 54 seconds into the second quarter. But we've scored off of turnovers 3 times last week, 3 times already tonight.
Shell shock has got to be what the Chapman Irish, both their fans and team, feel like right now. I mean, they have played super football in the first 2 weeks. Here's a kick taken by Blatt. He gets that across the 40, and he will be knocked down at the 43-yard line. It appears that's where Chapman will take over the football.
I want to say something in case an anxious dad is listening from a distance. Number 28 is going into the game.
Back on the field, Greg. That's right.
Gabe Ware. Now he's not full speed.
They wrapped that left ankle. I saw them working on the sideline. They wrapped that left ankle incredibly tight, but he is back on the field at middle linebacker. Wow. 10.5 to work here in the opening half. Tigers lead it 27-0. Handoff left side. Streck going to be taken down by guess who? Gabe Ware.
I wonder.
The hick from the stick says, I'm back, and it's a gain of maybe 1, 2nd down and 9.
He hobbles onto the field, but he doesn't hobble getting into that defensive backfield.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. For those who don't know, a farming accident this last week for Gabe's dad, Greg. That's why we've mentioned him a few times. And his plan was to be here tonight, and they would not let him. I think if he'd had a chance to escape, he'd have been here. 2nd down, 9. And a carry by the quarterback, Chandler Sweet, and Balin Brumfield has him wrapped up.
I don't like that call.
There's a penalty flag that comes in late. Brumfield was backing away. He actually took his arms off as the whistle blew. The penalty flag comes in, and I think this is going to be unnecessary roughness or a personal foul, however you want to call it.
Yeah, it's the head. It's probably targeting because I think they're calling it the up high. The spearing is below, right. The targeting's up high. It's the same signal from the white hat,
right?
But Balin did everything he could, and then he backed off as fast as he could. He made a great defensive play, but this is going to move the ball a little bit for Chapman, and it'll be an automatic first down, and it'll be down the field away.
Instead of 3rd down and 14, basically, Chad, it's going to be 1st and 15 inside Tiger territory.
I like the protection of the rule. I don't like the application in cases like this.
Right. Because it was not malicious. No. In fact, he was trying to, when he heard the whistle, get away, but he was up high because that's where he gathered it. Sweet ran right into it.
You're coming from defensive end. Nobody blocks you, and the quarterback runs right into you. You wrap him up. You waltz for 2 yards, then you let him go, and you get called for a penalty.
1st down and 10, Chapman at the Tiger 45-yard line. Play center leads at 27-0 in the opening half. Here's Sweet. Pitch out right side for Robert Streck. He's turned back in by Mullen. Now he's going to be tackled. 2 or 3 Tigers, but downfield goes Streck. And he's a dangerous runner. He's had a huge start to the season for the Irish. He is in week 1 ran for 230 yards, and week 2, 55 yards against Southeast Saline. So he's sitting at 285 through 2 games. 2nd down 4 after a 6-yard gain on this play. Tigers digging in defensively. Sweet, 2 backs with him. He'll hand off to Streck underneath again, and he is hit by Gabe Ware once more. The tackle is finished by Jace Casper. It will be a gain, and it appears very close to the 1st down.
It's going to be pretty close, and I think they're going to move the chain.
It is 1st and 10, Chapman. 9:10 to go. Tigers on top 27-0 here in this first half. We're in the second quarter, 9:10 to work.
This is where I want to see, and I think we will see the Tiger D bow their neck and, put a stop to them here.
Here is Streck again through the middle. He gets by 1 tackle, and he's taken down by Parker Folks. The tackle made after a 3-yard gain, but he's punished by Folks on the tackle. It will be 2nd down, and I think 7. A 3-yard gain, it appears, from here.
I have a prediction.
Okay, bring it.
That in the next several plays, there will be a holding penalty on Chapman. Because I've been watching holding on 3 of the last 4 plays.
I got you.
And everybody is talking to the refs about it, so something's going to get called eventually.
2nd down 7, pitch out left side for Streck. Giving chase is Garrett Craig, and from the outside, Hunter Mullen, Lane Lively in on the play as well. 3 Tiger defenders all in position. Streck had nowhere to go. A gain of maybe 1, if anything. It's 3rd down and long.
Well, if you want to stop him, bring the pursuit, get into the offensive backfield, just take him out of the play. That's what we do.
Sophomore Garrett Craig getting the start tonight, making a push from the inside, and Hunter Mullen from the outside, and Lane Lively was there from the safety position to clean it all up. 7:55 to go opening half. Tigers on top 27-0. Sweet, 3rd down, 7 to go. Hand off underneath, Balin Brumfield. The tackle in the backfield. Jabalian, Clowney, Brumfield, a tackle for a loss. It's 4th and long.
Oh, he got in there quick, and he shot right behind the offensive line of scrimmage there. He came from the right defensive end, and he shot right towards the center where the ball carrier was going, and he dropped him for a loss. It was 3rd and 7. Now it's 4th and 8.
A loss of a yard on the play, and the Tigers line up defensively as Chapman will line up to go for it on 4th down and long. Sweet, optioning right side, now pitches late, gets it to Streck, downfield, and appears to have the first down. A late pitch by Chandler Sweet as he's getting hit by Garrett Craig, and he put it on the numbers this time.
Oh, man. And it's one of those borderline good blocks holding again. And I'm not going to keep whining about this, but there was one of those right there that we were so close, and everybody's watching it. Chapman has moved the chains 3 times now in this possession. It's time for the Tigers to make the stop.
Just about to the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. 27-0 Tigers on top. Chapman now to play center's 23-yard line, the furthest they've gone downfield. Here's Sweet, back to pass. Stands, fires down toward the end zone, and is going to be broken up and nearly picked off. Peyton Lane made the initial contact on the football, tipped it up. Lane Lively almost scooped it up from there.
Is it only me and 200 other people that saw that illegal procedure there? I mean, that was crazy because half of the Chapman team was 2 yards downfield when the ball was snapped. But great defensive play in the end zone by the Tiger defensive back.
They had a receiver open, and Lane went up and made the defensive play initially, and the safety, Lane Lively, almost there on the tip drill. 2nd down and 10, pitch out left for Streck. Being chased by Parker Folks, breaks that tackle into the break. Chase Casper wraps it up. It'll be a gain inside the 20. 3rd down and about 4 left to go.
This is where it starts getting tough. You start getting to that shorter field. We have somebody on the defensive line that might need a little relief here, and here it comes. Yeah, he needs to come out. He's hurting.
Gavin Ware was asking for it. Dylan Carlson is in his place. 3rd down and 5. Football now at the Tigers' 17-yard line. Sweet from the gun again. Hand off underneath there, Streck, and he is hit and knocked backwards. Balin Brumfield is having a game. Garrett Craig was on the play. Now I'm going to give it again. Jabalion Clowney Brumfield. For those that don't know, the Florida State defensive end that came out, Jadavian Clowney, is now in the NFL. That's where the name comes from. It's Hunter Mullen who tapped Brumfield. Jabalion Clowney, I love it. 4th down and 4 to go. Sweet looking to the sideline. We've got a timeout for Chapman. 27-0. Tigers lead it. 4th down and 4. Chapman with the football. 5:44 remains here in the opening half when we come back.
I was sorting through my papers on my desk when in walked Roscoe. Where have you been?
They canceled our reruns due to the general lease, so I don't have anyone to chase.
Well, maybe now you'll have time to get your office organized. Central Office Service and Supply has a whole warehouse full of good used office desks, filing cabinets, and bookshelves at low prices.
Woo-wee! These drawers really work smoothly, and some even have locks. Best of all, I get to stay inside out of the heat.
Central Office in Clay Center. We deliver both new and used furniture.
Farmway Co-op, your partner in growth.
Have you reserved your wheat seed? Talk to your local Farmway seed specialist about your seed plan. The best varieties go fast. Don't miss the opportunity to take advantage of early order discounts and your supply of the best varieties of the year. Farmway carries the best brands and technologies in the industry. Farmway can help create a seed plan for a successful 2016. Contact Farmway today.
5:44 to work. Chapman with the timeout. 4th down and 4 before anybody wants to call and correct us, or me, I should say. It was South Carolina where Clowney played in college. Now, of course, playing alongside J.J. Watt and company for the Houston Texans. 5:44 to work. 27-0. Tigers do lead. First half action. Chapman 4th down and 4 with the football at the Tigers 17. Sweet. Pitch out right side to Streck. Turn back inside, and he will dive forward short of the first down. He's marked at the 15. It'll be Clay Center's football. They take over on down.
Good defense by the Tigers there. I like the scheme. I like the pursuit. I like the physicalness on the tackle because he was within a half a yard of picking that up.
So Clay Center will take over the football at their own 15-yard line. 5:37 to go, first half, and they lead kids 27-0.
Now, this is really where I want to see the offense fall into their offensive scheme. Let's not get caught up in what's happened to football. We need to settle in. You know, we've only really had one offensive drive.
True.
You know, this is where we need to become our offense. Take control of that line of scrimmage, move the chain, and not get caught up in the fact that three weird things have happened.
5:37 to go, second quarter. Tigers on top, 27-0. With the football now from their own 15-yard line. Cade Wallace under center. He has receivers to both sides. Now in motion goes Young. They'll hand off underneath. Now Wallace is going to keep it as he fakes the handoff and will gain maybe one on the play. Gabe Ware did come off after that last defensive series, but played the whole series and had to be told to come to the sideline, and he did hustle off. So they have Adam Ebert in at the back behind Cade Wallace in that formation. Brady Milliken wide right. Lane Lively is wide left. The offensive line, Jace Casper and Parker Folks to the right side. McCade Melius is your center. Jacob Blackburn to the left along with Dylan Carlson. Hunter Mullen, Tyler Young, the wingbacks. Wallace puts Mullen in motion. Handoff underneath, and Wallace again keeps it. Now gets it out to the 20, maybe 21-yard line. It brings up third down and about 4 still left to go. Under 5 minutes to work in this first half.
And I'm going to call this, at the risk of sounding silly with a 27-0 lead, I'm going to call this a big third down. You know, I want to keep possession of this ball. We've had defense on the field all night long, and part of it's because they score, you know. But I want to keep moving the chains and keep the ball.
This formation has Mullen a wingback right, and then Young and Lively both to the right side with Milliken left. Ebert behind Wallace. Cade back to pass, rolls right side, sets, fires sideline. Lane Lively to catch, turns upfield. He will have the first down yardage. There's your big third down conversion, Chet. You wanted. Lane Lively sure-handed, turned up the field, knocked out as he gained the first down yardage. First and 10 Tigers.
Great route by Lane Lively. Got himself open. We didn't just pick up the first down. We picked up 6-7 more yards than we needed on the first down. But it was a sure-handed catch. It was a good pass from Cade. Good blocking. It was good execution all the way around.
They needed the 25-yard line. They moved it across the 31. Here's Wallace. Take to Ebert. Now keeps it as a couple of blockers. He's out near the 40-yard line. And Murph Wallace will get it to the 39, now bringing up second down short yardage to the Tigers.
I love Cater when he gets it moving in there and he decides to pull that ball back out and keep it. It's second and very, very short. We'll call it a yard.
Wallace under center, quick count this time. Now in motion, Mullen. Again the fake. Wallace dives and squirts forward. First down, Tigers. They move it out to the 42-yard line. 3:47 to go first half. The Tigers leading 27-0, and now first down and 10.
And I like seeing the Tigers move those chains, and that's what we've done a couple times now. We took over. We stopped on fourth down at the 15-yard line. Now we're out here to the 43.
Again, Mullen and Young are the wing backs. Ebert in at the back behind Wallace. Receivers to both sides. In motion, Mullen. A little misplay inside. That's a misdirection by somebody. Either Wallace or Ebert turned wrong. I saw Adams' response after the play. I think he was not supposed to be in that area by the way he reacted.
Just enough to make all the difference in the world, and all of a sudden there's 3 Chapman Irish right on top of him.
The loss of 2, second down 12. 3:10 to work now, first half. Cade Wallace goes in under center. Same formation as the last call we had before that misplay. Wallace back to pass. Gets off of one defender, now fires downfield for Milliken. The ball up for grabs. 2 defenders there, and it falls incomplete. Jason Zook right in the face of Cade Wallace when he lets that football go. It falls harmlessly incomplete. It's third down and long.
Brady Milliken almost pulled that pass in after it hit a Chapman player. But anyway, it was pretty heavy defense on Chapman there. He did a good job of missing a rusher there, stepping up towards the line of scrimmage before he let that ball fly.
Third down 12. Tigers marching with 2:53, clock stopped after the incomplete pass. Wallace marks a late order to the left side of the line. In motion is Tyler Young. They'll pitch out left for Young. We've got a penalty flag before the play gets going. And as Chet said earlier, that's not normally good news for the out there.
Not normally good news, no. We're probably going to march it back and be looking at 3rd and 17 or 16.
It is procedure against the Tigers, so 5 yards backwards now. Third down, 16 to go instead of third 17, I would call it, instead of 3rd and 12. 2:51 to work. We're in the second quarter. Tigers on top here, 27-0. Now faced with third down, 17 yards to go. 2:51 to work in the second period. Wide right, Lane Lively. Wide left is Milliken. Young is slotted to the right side on this trip. 3rd and long for the Tigers. Cade Wallace puts Mullen in motion. He'll fake it, now works it right, keeps it, and he is tackled by Jason Zook in the backfield. Check correction. Tackles made by the Irish Jacob Stoneberger, I should say, and a loss of maybe 1. The Tigers will have to punt for the first time tonight.
And Cade was really wanting to pitch that ball to Hunter Mullen. Hunter Mullen was right where he wanted him, and he had some open field in front of him with a blocker. But Cade had both of his arms pinned down, and he didn't want to make a bad pitch.
So Connor Last is in to punt it for Clay Center. He stands at his own 24-yard line. Dylan Carlson, the long snapper. 2 receivers back for Chapman. 2:08 to work here in this first half. And a timeout taken by Clay Center before they snap the football. We'll break as well. You're listening to Tiger Football on 100.9.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement. We've got you covered.
Tyler Hassenbank with Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia discusses foam-backed siding and fade warranties.
Vinyl siding, the basic kind, it does not insulate as well as the foam back. So the foam back is a little bit more pricey, but at the same time it's going to insulate and look better on your home. There's lifetime fade warranty on the siding brands. It's guaranteed only to fade a certain percent throughout its lifetime.
When it's time to replace that car or truck you're driving, or if you are in the market for your first vehicle, come see us at Union State Bank. We take the time to help you determine the price range of a vehicle that works in your budget. We finance cars and trucks at very competitive rates and offer an extended warranty program to give you that peace of mind for those unexpected repairs. So before you make one of the largest purchases in your life, come see us at Union State Bank to get pre-approved for your next car or truck loan. Member FDIC.
2:06 to work here in this second period. Tigers on top 27-0. Clay Center will punt it. Again, Connor Last is back in to punt. He stands at his own 24-yard line. 2 return men back for the Irish standing at their own 22. Tigers let that clock wind down as far as they could and then called the timeout to come back on and punt the football away. The snap is low. Last trouble getting it. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. And it will be a low snap that was bobbled and then lost. And Connor Last unable to get the punt away. And it was not Carlson in there long snapping that time. I did not get a number, but I see Dylan just coming in from the sideline.
Yeah, I didn't notice who it was either. But a punter's job is to do a number of things there, but the first thing is to field the ball, and he had to dig it out of the grass, and he was having trouble getting his hands on it. Suddenly Chapman was on top of him.
And suddenly Chapman has it at the Tiger 26-yard line, 1st and 10. Here's Sweet working right side. The quarterback cuts against the grain in the middle. He'll be brought down. Parker Folks on the play. Also Dylan Carlson in there on the tackle. It'll be a gain of 4 yards, maybe 5. 2nd down, it's at the Tigers 21-yard line. Well, 2nd down 5.
After 19 points being scored in the first 11 minutes and 12 seconds of this game, and then 27 points being scored in the first 12 minutes and 6 seconds of this game, we have had no score since, and we're down into the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Sweet has 2 backs flat beside him. Streck behind him. He'll pitch it out right side to Streck. He'll cut it up the field. It's by 1 tackle, and it's leveled by Chase Casper. He takes it to the 10, but he is blasted by Chase Casper, the freak downfield.
I tell you what, that's the hardest hit I've seen all year.
Wow.
And any of these first 3 football games we've seen, Chase came across field there and just blasted him.
A decleater, they call those. If it was colder, it would have been a snot knocker. Chase Casper made the heck of a tackle, but Streck has the first down yardage, a minute 8 to work, and Chapman moves it to the Tiger 10-yard line, 1st and 10. Sweet, working right, hand off to Streck again, works it right side. He gets down inside the 5. Ball still on his feet. Now the ball comes loose, but it will be Chapman's football, 2nd down and goal at about the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
48 seconds to work.
He fumbled at the end of that play, and Chapman recovered down there inside the 2-yard line.
Streck has a run inside the 5, fighting for extra yardage. Almost caught, well, he did cough it up, but he was able to recover. Now the Tiger defense back against the wall. Sweet, high snap, hands it off, and Streck is into the end zone. Touchdown Chapman with 28 seconds to work. So a special teams problem for the Tigers on that snap to Connor Last, the punter, gives a short field to Chapman. They take advantage just before halftime. The Tigers do have a big lead still, 27-6. That's a big score for Chapman mentality, I guess.
And I'm going to call that a score off a turnover.
Yeah,
really, because we weren't able to execute the punt.
Now the extra point try from the quarterback. Chandler Sweet is their kicker. 28 seconds to go here in the half. Snap is a good one. The hold is down. The kick on its way, and it is up and through. 27-7, Chapman on the scoreboard. Tigers lead it. They'll have a chance to return the kickoff when we come back to Auto Wonders Stadium.
If you've ever heard your grandma say, "A penny saved is a penny earned," you probably understood the principle behind what she was saying. Even a small amount of savings on each grocery item can add up to a significant amount for your family. That's why Ray's Apple Market gives you the best choice of private labels among all the others. You can find Best Choice and Always Save products throughout the store. And Ray's Apple Market is always looking for ways to give you the value and selection you expect.
If you've been waiting for low interest rates to get a vehicle, Hanson Ford has some incredible incentives on 2015 certified pre-owned vehicles. A 1.9% APR for up to 66 months is available on Ford Escape, F-150, Focus, and Fusion. Or get a 0.9% APR for 36 months on all eligible Ford and Mercury vehicles. Now through September 30th is your chance to drive away in a select Ford certified pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Rates are low and the selection is outstanding at Hanson Ford and Clay Center.
27-7 ball game. Clay Center Tigers with the lead. Chapman, though, scoring late here in this half. And it'll be Chapman who will kick it off for the first time in this ball game. And it is Jason Zook, the big fella, who does the kicking for the Irish. The boot on its way is an angled right side. It's going to go out of bounds. The Tigers will have good field position, but with just 28 seconds remaining, and again, they have the lead at 27-7. So Clay Center will take over the football. The kick was just shanked off the right side of the cleat by Zook and out of bounds. Went out at about the 35. That's where the Tigers will actually get it, as the rule states.
Seems like an awful lot of our returns the last several weeks. That's where we end up anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, we're right within a yard or two of that 35-yard line, so we're in familiar territory.
Without a doubt. Had the one big return last week by Mullen. It took it to Rock Creek's 25, but primarily this is where the Tigers have taken over. 28 seconds to work. First half, Tigers on top by 20 points, 27-7. And Clay Center's going to take a knee and just get to the halftime break with that 20-point lead. And unless Chapman wants to stop the clock, that should end the half. What a half it's been. By the way, coming up at halftime again this week, we'll get a chance to talk with a couple of the Tigers seniors, Jace Casper and Balin Brumfield. We'll also hear from Coach Todd Rice during halftime. That's all coming your way here in just a little bit. Halftime is here, 27-7. Tigers lead it over Chapman. Halftime show continues right after these.
Marty here at Bud's Tire Service. Fall is the perfect time to get out there and kick up some dirt, so dust off your wallets and get a $50 or $70 MasterCard rewards card when you buy a set of 4 new select BF Goodrich tires. Hurry, offer only valid August 31st to September 27th. Like the Tiger football team, we are ready to kick off the fall right here at Bud's Tire Service. See redemption form for complete details. Void where prohibited. Reward card issued by U.S. Bank pursuant to license from MasterCard International Incorporated.
Hey, football fans, if you're like me, the best seat in the house is, well, in your house. Food, convenient restrooms, and the luxury of picking through the games you want to watch make it great. Upgrade your chair with a new recliner or furniture from Wall's True Value. We're giving away a recliner with cup holders on Piatique, so get in and sign up for your chance to win at Wall's True Value in beautiful downtown Clay Center. Open 7 days a week for you.
This time of year, many farmers feel like they're juggling too many things at once. Or maybe you're the guy who's trying to keep multiple plates spinning. Well, let us help you. I'm Brent with Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales, and we'll help with fall custom application and knock down those weeds and keep them under control. The blessing of rain and through this year's growing season has led to tough weed conditions. But hit them now, and you'll be glad you did in 2016. Talk with us at Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales.
Need of innovative
Plan ahead for a comfortable and safe winter by contacting Propane Central today. They'll discuss your propane needs and set up a delivery schedule that ensures you have propane when you need it. Choose from one of their flexible payment plans and automatic payment options, and you'll know why their customers agree. Propane Central offers worry-free propane service. Back on Tiger halftime now, and we get a chance to talk with a couple of the Tiger seniors, also with Coach Todd Rice here at halftime. This was from earlier in the week. We'll start with the Tiger defensive end, Balin Brumfield, or maybe he's going by something different now.
Now, let me see if I got this right. Jabalion Clowney Brumfield, is that right?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Got a defensive end for the Clay Center Tigers, and actually that was what I wanted to ask you about. As you moved into this new position this year, what's been the biggest adjustment playing DN for you?
Well, I don't have to do any pass drops or anything like that, so I get to rush the quarterback, sit down, smash down on the O-line, keep my contain there, and then when the run comes to me, tackle the ball.
Jabalion Clowney. I like the nickname. You know it's going to be used now on the air. So you guys did a great job against Rock Creek this past week in your first win of the season. I thought against a double-wing defense, the ends have to be on target. I thought you and Dylan did a great job. You guys feel good about the game?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Win number one. Okay, well, this Tiger trivia, Balin. This is a little rapid-fire, 3 questions. You just give me your best answer as quickly as you can. Right. Are you ready? All right, as a defensive end, Jabalion Clowney Brumfield, who was the toughest Tiger to tackle?
Gabe Ware.
Gabe Ware, good answer. Okay, I know you're a baseball guy too. MLB's closing in on the postseason. Who you rooting for to go a long way this year?
Definitely the Royals.
Great answer, once again. All right, if you could pick only one of the following, which would it be? Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram?
Twitter.
Twitter is the answer.
Jabalion Clowney Brumfield here at halftime. Up next, we'll talk with the freak, Jace Casper.
If you took a lot of pictures over the summer, print them off, make copies for family and friends, or enlarge your favorites. It's fast and easy with the photo stations at Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy and Radio Shack. You can print from your phone, Facebook, camera memory cards, and USB thumb drives. The helpful staff at Patterson's will be glad to help get you started. Save and share those precious memories. Use the picture stations at Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy and Radio Shack, downtown Clay Center.
Home sweet home. It's everything you've dreamt of until the water heater breaks down, the roof needs replaced, the picket fence takes a hit, a pipe bursts, and the basement floods. Whew. That's when you call your friends at United Bank & Trust. With years of lending experience and a few home ownership hurdles of their own, they can help make it a home sweet home again with a home sweet loan. Home improvement loans from United Bank & Trust. You bank, we deliver. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Twin Valley is proud to announce their free Twin Valley Wi-Fi zone, available to all fans at Unruh Stadium. With Twin Valley Wi-Fi, you can share the moments from the game with all your friends and family. Listen to the game on the KCLY app, post Instagram pics, tweet updates of the game, and update Facebook all for free without using your valuable cellular data. Enjoy the game and go Tigers from your friends at Twin Valley.
Again, our halftime show continues as we visited with a couple of the Tigers earlier this week.
Jace Casper, the freak, with us here, and we're going to talk offense to start off with. Jace, you guys racked up 319 yards in rushing Friday night at Rock Creek, and I know you and the crew on that offensive line, a big part of that. A lot of people may not understand what goes on up there other than just going and hitting pads and getting low and clearing some space. You guys have a communication process that's a big part of what you do. Kind of tell them what that's about.
There's a lot of talk that goes on, mostly just the left side and the right side. Like I have Parker Folks with me, and what I do on a play, it has a lot to do with what he does and what he sees, and everything I do can change by something that he sees or something he likes or doesn't like on our side. So.
And you moved from fullback to the offensive line, so that adjustment's probably part of what you had to get used to. Do you kind of feel like you guys are getting to know each other better and better each game?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Actually, freshman year I was a tight end, so I still worked with those guys, and I took a year off at fullback, and now I'm back down. So it's kind of fluctuated a little bit, but yeah, it's we've played with each other for a long time, so we already we're good friends on the side too, so that helps a lot. And it's been pretty smooth, just I kind of got in there and we got to work and everything kind of clicked. So
I'll tell you, the Friday at Rock Creek, they looked good in the week 1 loss to Rossville, but that right side of the line opened a lot of holes up for the Tigers, I can tell you that. Okay, rapid fire questions. You ready? If you had to choose one band to listen to, who would it be?
The Offspring.
The Offspring. Okay. What's your favorite sport that's not football?
Motocross.
I thought motocross might have been NASCAR, but okay, you went motocross. Not a big surprise. If there was a Clay Center Tiger football dance-off, what Tiger would win it?
Ooh, I'd say Anthony Anaking probably would be my bet.
He's got the moves?
He can get down.
Would you be involved in this dance-off?
Oh, yeah, dude, are you kidding me?
Hope you don't dance like other members of your family, like that guy videotaping over there.
You don't want to see that. You don't.
Again, Jace Casper, our halftime guest. Back with more. Coach Todd Rice gives us a little look at the Tigers and more on halftime.
Crop Production Services offers the best quality corn and soybean seed lineup that truly fit your acres and the way you farm. Year after year, top-performing brands such as Asgrow, DeKalb, Dynagrow, and Mycogen turn top yields in field trials. Get expert agronomic advice, responsive service, and consistent fair pricing from Crop Production Services. Early cash and volume discounts and financing options available. Visit with Pat, Josh, Doug, and Sheldon for all your corn and soybean seed needs.
The quality of meals you serve your family depends on the quality selection you have to choose from. At Ray's Apple Market, they strive to ensure only the freshest meats and dairy products are always available. Their meat department is happy to custom cut your order to your specification. Their dairy case offers the fresh flavors from the cheese and butter items to yogurt, milk, and more. They appreciate the opportunity of serving you and your family with quality grocery items in every aisle and the personal touch that makes them your store. Ray's Apple Market.
Hey Tiger fans, the lights are on, the team is ready, and the coaching staff has put together a successful game plan for tonight's game. Have you thought about your insurance game plan? This is Jim Gearham with Farmers Union Insurance. Let us help put together a game plan for all your insurance needs. We cover everything from cars, trucks, boats, and motorcycles to homes, combines, and businesses. We can even help insure your retirement. Stop by and see us at 426 Lincoln Avenue, downtown Clay Center. A proud supporter of Tiger Athletics.
Back again at halftime. Our thanks to Coach Todd Rice and lining up the interviews with Baylor Brumfield, Jace Casper. Fun to talk with those guys earlier this week. You can catch those interviews, by the way, on our YouTube channel, and we post them also the YouTube link on our Facebook pages and Twitter accounts. And kind of fun to take a look at what's happening there during the week. 27-7 here at halftime. The CCCHS band performing right now under Director Brooks and play a little Journey here at halftime.
Yeah, gotta love it.
And for those of you who love rock and roll, like Steve Perry and Journey, the Tigers have been rocking thus far this evening. Man, did they get a start to this game, and they kept the hammer down quite on the.
Oh, they really did. First of all, we started it all on offense, and we made it worse like you're supposed to. It was almost textbook, moving the ball down the field on offense, getting the score.
Yeah, on the 11-yard line, they end up at 4th down and 2. And then Tyler Young takes it in. They score. They're up 7-0. Peyton Lane knocked in the extra point. Then the rest of the game was creating ways to score the football for the Tigers.
Well, I tell you what, that first drive, first of all, we took over the ball with 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. So, we come out. Chapman goes three downs and out, three and punt. We had the ball for 6 minutes and 2 seconds. Wow. And, so we drove it all the way down. We score on that 11-yard run with 4:28 to go. Then just everything got weird after that.
The ensuing kickoff was a tackle by Brady Milliken in a special teams. He punches the football out. It's on the turf. He's able to gather it in on the sideline without going out of bounds. Tiger football. Very next play after that, Cade Wallace drops back, 37-yard touchdown pass. It's Milliken wide open down the lane. And the Tigers are up by 2 scores right away.
Absolutely. The lane right down the middle, it was pretty. You want to watch those all night long. It was that pretty. 7 seconds time of possession there. So basically he can run 37 yards in 7 seconds, counting the snap of the football. But so we scored 13 points in 7 seconds of game clock.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And then it got even crazier, if you can believe that, because the next possession, Chapman actually driving a little bit. They'd gotten into midfield stripe into Tiger territory, and a Chandler Sweet pitch to the left found nobody but turf. And number 18 for the Tigers, Peyton Lane, the sophomore, scooped it, and 62 yards later, nobody caught him. Touchdown Clay Center.
And that's absolutely right. And on that small possession for Chapman, they had the ball less than 3 minutes. So it was 48 and a half seconds to go in the first quarter when Peyton was circling over the goal line after running all the way down there. And, you know, all this, it's hard to scoop up a ball. It bounced right for him. It's hard to get your speed after that coming from that cornerback position. And Chapman, there were 3-4 players that gained space on him right off the bat, and then Peyton just pulled away from him.
Yeah, he really did. Then the Tigers were able to get the football back. Another turnover forced in the middle of the field. Caleb Mendham comes up with the recovery, and then a few plays later, Cade Wallace throws a little out to Adam Ebert, and Adam Ebert did the rest really on his own. He got one really good block. I think it was Baylor Brumfield on the right side, or Brady Miller. No, it was Brady Miller who got the block. And then he cut inside, and once he found open territory, Adam Ebert was gone from 30 yards there.
Yeah, Milliken had kind of almost a sock block on the sideline there, and all Adam Ebert had to do was just cut inside his hip and take it to the house. 30 yards from 30 yards. It was called a pass, but that was almost all run after catch. It was like a 30-yard run. Right. But it was beautiful. That's with 11 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the second quarter. So we went, Peyton scored with 48 seconds to go in the first quarter, and then only 54 seconds into the next quarter, we scored again.
And on top of that, Tyler Young went in for the 2-point conversion on that play, made it 27-0 at that time. Then the Tigers did a terrific job defensively. Gabe Ware went down with an injury, left ankle, came out, wrapped it up, spit on it probably, and went right back into the football game, and then he was rubbed some dirt on it and go. That's what Gabe Ware does. And he came out and he made the first tackle after he returned to the field. But the Tigers then made a great defensive stop at their own 15-yard line and were moving the football before they turned it back over, and then Chapman took advantage and finally scored their first.
Oh, yeah, and Chapman only scored with 28 seconds to go in the half. So almost the entire second quarter was played without any score. We scored 54 seconds into it. They scored 28 seconds to go in the half. So there's almost 11 full minutes there. Not quite that. But both teams just batted heads and kind of moved the ball back and forth in the middle of the field. Gabe Ware showed a lot of toughness.
If you're listening for stats from the first half, we've got some interesting numbers.
Yeah.
But our Dr. Stats, Kerry Carlson, unable to be with us tonight. We knew he had a trip planned and was unable to be around. We always love to have him here.
Oh, yeah.
We really missed you tonight. This is one of those games where we get all kinds of numbers flowing.
I said that to you on one of our commercial breaks. It's like, I'm getting dizzy. I mean, for probably more years I kept stats while we talked than we didn't have a stat.
Sure.
But I was used to what I kept then. But tonight we decided to start trying to keep all these obscure things because the obscure was the norm.
It was for a long time.
And all of a sudden, man, I got dizzy. I about fell down.
Now, one thing that the Chet's keys of the game talked about was the 6 punts. If the Tigers could force 6 punts in the game, you were thinking 3 in each half, right? Then the Tigers have a really good chance to win this football game. Now, they forced the first possession into a punt.
Yeah.
But in all reality, they did better. The defense did better than what you wanted. They didn't just force punts. They got turnovers.
I'm counting turnovers as punts because that's better than a punt. So I added that stat up there. So one of those keys, was to have 6 punts out of Chapman tonight. They only got to punt one, because we kept taking the ball away from them before they could punt.
Right.
So anyway, three turnovers from Chapman, and we scored on all 3. I think that's very important.
It happened last week when they got a turnover 3 times last week. They scored every time. Tonight, the same situation through the first half. It's 27-7 here at the halftime break. Stay with us. We'll take a timeout. Second half is coming your way in just a bit.
A new Farmway Co-op diesel fueling site opened in Clay Center at 516 6th Street, bringing a convenient, safe, and familiar Farmway fueling experience to the entire community. The diesel fuel site is open 24/7 with a Farmway fuel card or any major credit card. Customers can also use a Farmway fuel card at Bud's Tire and Ray's Apple Market, both fuel partners with Farmway Co-op. Farmway invites fleets and consumers in the area to experience it today.
Your partner in growth.
Hey folks, Bill Rice from the Green Team. We have a really good selection of Dodge Journey, and these are great vehicles with some huge savings right now. For example, a 2015 Dodge Journey Crossroads, and you can save $6,805 on this thing. It's 7-passenger seating, great for trips. I think you're going to like it. So come on and check it out at the Green Team, 802 West Crawford in Clay Center. Or check us out on the web at greenteamcars.com.
Character, commitment, discipline. These are just a few of the many aspects that our student athletes build by being involved in athletics. Those invaluable qualities our young people gain from their athletics help prepare them for real-life situations, which is why the Citizens National Bank has always been a proud supporter of youth and high school athletics in our communities. We encourage everyone to go out to cheer on and support our student athletes and our athletes of tomorrow. We'll see you at the game. The Citizens National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome to Subway. What can I make for you?
I want to mix things up a bit.
How about one of our delicious Reuben sandwiches? Loaded with your choice of tender corned beef or oven-roasted turkey breast.
I like where you're going with this.
They're fresh toasted with melty Swiss cheese and topped with sauerkraut and Thousand Island dressing. All on your choice of freshly baked bread.
Sounds perfect.
Coming right up. The Subway Reubens won't be here long, so try one today. Subway. Eat fresh.
Limited time only at participating restaurants.
Back again at halftime, nearing second half start time. We do have some scores to pass along to you. We found out the Hanover Wildcats winning tonight already over Wakeville. We know the Bombers are banged up, and Hanover really, really good again this year. 48-0 the final here. A couple of NCKL scores. Wamegos leading Marysville 6-0. Red Raiders lost the first two games. Marysville, of course, broke a long skid of losses in the opening game of the season. They're 1-1. And then Abilene taking on Concordia in Con at halftime. Cowboys 14, Concordia 6. Panthers 1-1 to start the season. They've had some real troubles with turnovers. Obviously, tonight they've cleaned it up a little bit.
You know, I would expect that to be. I would expect both of those games to be good matchups. They're playing out so far, probably at half for both of them.
Yeah, both at halftime and both very tight. And we kind of talked about that beforehand. In fact, I get a lot of the scores from the guys that call their games. And I was saying, we were all talking amongst each other that we expected all three of these games to be fairly tight. I don't think anybody expected the Tigers to come out and really put up a 27-0 scoreboard early in this ball game.
Right, and if any scores went out around the county or around the country, there'd have been a 19-0 score out of Clay Center at the quarter, at the quarter break. And, you know, as I said, 54 seconds later, it's 27-0. But that's the way turnovers go, you know. And
now, we both have had an opportunity to be around football, to coach a little football. This is an important part of the game for the Tigers because they've got their foot on the throat with the common trendy language is right now.
Right.
And they don't want to let that foot off to start the second half.
And if you're a defensive coach, you really worry about a halftime like this, you know, because you don't want your team to think that they can just coast in because it can turn just as quick the other way. And we've seen it happen so many times. You got to come out at 0-0 right now.
19 points in one quarter happened in the first half of the Tigers, and I'm sure that's been reminded to the Tigers on both sides of the ball. Clay Center will have the football to start. Jason Zook will kick it off for Chapman. Line drive, actually a squibbly kick that's going to go to the sideline and out of bounds, and this will be Clay Center with, again, good possession. And their extra point kicker, which is the quarterback, Chandler Sweet, actually kicks a very pretty ball, but they've had Zook kicking the kickoff, and both of them he's shanked to the right.
Yeah, don't tell him this, but neither of them have been very pretty, you know. He's like a lot bigger than me. But I just wasn't sure if we touched that ball or not, but it looks like we didn't. They're bringing it out to the 35.
Brady Milliken reached for it, but couldn't get to it.
Tried to touch.
Yeah, it squirted out of bounds. The Clay Center will take over, thrown 35-yard line, as the Tigers will get set to work here offensively.
Brandon Loader in the beginning.
Brandon Loader going into the offensive side on the right, and a late substitution before they break the huddle. Cade Wallace under center. Receiver right and left. He will fake it underneath. Pitch to Tyler Young, left side. Gets a block from Hunter Mullen. Dives across the 40. Squirts ahead nearly to the first down marker. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 42. It's a gain of 7, maybe 8 yards. It'll bring up second down.
And that official got a good spot on it. Tyler Looked like he picked up more yards than that, but his foot did step on that white stripe right there. Great block by Hunter Mullen that got him about 4 of those yards.
Absolutely. By the way, Adam Ebert is in at the tailback position in place of Gabe Ware, but Gabe back on the sidelines. He hurt his left ankle, but was able to come back in and play defensively. They kind of kept him off the offensive side for the time being. Mullen in motion, left to right. Here's Wallace. Handoff underneath, though. He's going to pull it out. Pitch it to Tyler Young. Room again, midfield stripe. Young breaks through one tackler. Now runs through another. A blocker out in front. Milliken. Tyler Young dances by one more and eventually falls down at the Chapman Irish 12-yard line. Tyler Young made 15 different moves and 3 bursts of speed, then got a block out in front and almost took it to the house again.
I'm going to apologize for saying this like everybody else does, but that was speed too. Because Chapman had 2 guys that looked like they should tackle him. They were unblocked, and the only reason they didn't was he ran right past them. They underestimated the speed.
The burst of speed in the open field as you're running what appears to be full speed, is amazing. Gerard Dyson would be proud, Chet. He would. 27-7, Cade Wallace sends Dalen Brumfield to the left side, Milliken to the right. It was an electrifying run.
Oh, man.
Again from Young, and I thought he was going to take it to the house once more. Pitch out right, Mullen cuts against the grain, gets a block from Young. Now he's going to be caught, though, near the backfield by Chris Blatt. That's a great open field tackle because Mullen had made a move to put himself in position to turn the corner. Just a minute into the third period, the Tigers, who lead at 27-7, marching again to start this second half as they have it at the Chapman 12-yard line. No gain on the play, second down 10.
It's a lot more fun to play down on this end of the field.
Without a doubt. Tigers looking to the sideline for the call.
Tigers can pick up a first down without getting in the end zone.
Second down, just under 10 yards to go to pick up that first down Chet was talking about. Mullen left, Young right. Mullen in motion, left to right. They will fake the pitch. Wallace stands in the pocket, floats one out toward Adam Ebert. They had it covered up nicely, and Wallace tried to bubble it up high for him to go get it, but no chance. Good coverage in the open field, that time by Brett Lemon.
Tigers kind of opened up a lot of misdirection partway into the second quarter of the game, and they're coming out with more misdirection than ever early in this third quarter. That's even how we came out of the formation in that long Tyler Young run.
Yeah, good point. You see Peyton Lane warming up on the sideline in case they would try for a field goal here if they come up short. 10.5 to work in this third. Tigers driving, but now faced with third down and 9. Cade Wallace with Ebert behind him. Young and Mullen again the wingbacks. To the right is Milliken. They will work left. Wallace tripped up as he pulled the football out of the belly. He had Young out left to pitch to. But Cade Wallace, I don't know if he tripped over a defensive player or one of his own linemen, but he comes up a little hobbled and favoring. Now he's going to ask for some help to come to the sideline, I think. 4th down and 11. Cade Wallace going to stay in there. Really struggling to get back up and run this play. 4th down, 11 yards to go. 9:50 to work, third quarter. Not wanting to put weight on that right leg. Now Wallace does get the call, goes back in under center. They're going to run it on 4th and 11. Wallace drops back, rolls left to pass, moving well. Now squares the shoulders. He's going to tuck it around to the 10. Gets by a tackler to the 5. Dives forward. Very close to the first down. Murph Wallace on an injured right ankle somehow finds speed, turns the corner. Did he get it, Chet?
I think he's very close. And I don't know how he stayed in bounds at about the 7-8 yard line there, but he cut it up inside that white paint.
And they're eyeballing from one side to the other. They may bring the chains across to measure this one. What a run by Cade Wallace. And they are going to bring the chains across.
We need to get to about the 2 for a first down.
I'll tell you one thing. He was fortunate, Cade, that it was his right ankle, not his left ankle, because he would have never stayed in bounds. He planted so hard with that left foot to stay inside that sideline and get downfield, and we'll see if he got there or not. It's very, very close.
And because of the measurement, he can go back in.
Correct.
He walked out, and Lane Lively went in, but now Cade's able to go back in.
It is first and goal, Tigers. Cade Wallace. That's a 39-time All-Star. The Murph who makes the play, and that was an All-Star type play. to make that run on the injured ankle, and now he's been able to kind of shake things out, and you can see him moving much better than he was.
He couldn't hardly stand up, and he's trying to get the signals from the sidelines to run that 4th and, 9.5?
Crazy play, but he found a way to make it happen.
He bought himself some yards by continually taking the pass as he was rolling up.
Football at the 2-yard line. Quarterback keep across the goal line. Is he in? Touchdown, Tigers! Cade Wallace keeps it and dives across, and the Tigers score on their opening possession of the second half. It's 33-7 Tigers.
Girton Propane has provided quality service and employment opportunities for over 60 years. Girton is always on the lookout for exceptional company and owner-operator drivers to join their team. If you're a top-notch driver, call Andy at 800-232-0170. Girton transports liquid commodities throughout the 48 states with an emphasis in the Midwest. Girton is committed to excellence, safety, and quality service. Join the Girton team. Call 800-232-0170.
Tigers go for a 2-point conversion. Cade Wallace faked it, kept it right after scoring the touchdown. He is tackled before the goal line, so it'll be a 33-7 lead to the Tigers. 9:20 left third quarter. What an opening possession to send the message in the second half.
So we started on the 35-yard line, 9:20 to go in the quarter. So we were efficient. We moved. Now, part of that efficiency came from a pretty big run from Tyler Young.
Tremendous run.
What guts out of Cade Wallace out there. He was hobbled up. He was hurting, and he did what he needed to do to move those chains. We had 0 more chains. That's how many we had.
Yeah, he just found a way to stay in bounds and dive forward and make it happen. 9:20 to go, third quarter. Tigers on top, 33-7. You're listening to Tiger Football on 100.9.
This harvest, producers that planted one of the high-quality wheat varieties or a blend from Oldie Seed are recording significantly better yield results. Varieties like Hot Rod, WB 4458, and WB Cedar are high-yielding wheat varieties that deliver exceptional yields and good test weights. If you want the highest quality seed, make it a point to plant an Oldie Seed wheat variety or blend this fall. Call Oldie Seed at 877-692-4555.
Tyler Young's 48-yard run sets up the touchdown for the Tigers after a 4th down conversion on 4th and 9 by Cade Wallace, injured at the time. And then Cade punches it in. Tigers lead at 33-7. Boy, talk about coming out and putting a message on the board early for the Tigers. Here's your tasty pastry kickoff from Levi Fitzenmeyer, picked up at the 20-yard line. Return man is Robert Streck through the middle. He's going to be tackled. 2 Tiger defenders on the legs. On the play, I want to see the number getting up because a great job to just hang in there and hold on that time by Gavin Siebold. Yeah, he got the legs down low, and then Anthony Atkinson Inniking would come away with the finish up top.
You hang on to the bottom of the legs. It doesn't matter how big they are, or how strong or how fast they are.
Exactly.
You're going to win.
Right. Good job by Siebold downfield that time on special teams. 1st and 10. It is a good field position for Chapman from their own 38. Well, he goes in motion. They'll hand off to him coming from left to right, and he is going to be gathered in by Adam Ebert. Nowhere to go. He may get 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down.
And the thing is, the guy that had the block on Adam Ebert, or the guy that was assigned to block Adam Ebert, made the block. He was out there making the block, but it's a pretty slow developing play because the back's coming all the way across the field from the far side. He didn't stay on his block, and Adam Ebert fought through it to make the tackle.
So the Tigers defensively do give up what they call a 4-yard game, second down 6. Sweet from the gun. Hand off underneath. Here's Streck. He is going to be tackled from behind. That is Ebert again who makes the play. Coming from the inside and going out, Dylan Carlson may have had first contact. Correction, Gabe Ware on the tackle. That was Ware who is back in there defensively. They're keeping him off the offensive side. He is so valuable as a middle linebacker.
Well, one thing about the way he runs the ball is he just keeps those feet going the whole time, and we need to kind of protect his feet right now.
There was a first down gain. High snap. Sweet brings it down, chasing the backfield. Parker Folks hits him first. Then he's racked up and gathered in by Dylan Carlson. Folks got the first pop. Carlson finished him off. It's a loss of 4, second down 14.
A good snap makes so much difference. And, sometimes for Chapman, the snaps have been kind of high, kind of sideways here and there. Sweet's pretty athletic. He always just pulls them in and isn't effective. That time it was high enough that it took him one step out of the play. Tigers were in there to make the stop.
Sweet, high snap again, but he gathers it in, works it left side. Balin Brumfield gets a hit, and then there's going to be a tackle made outside. Lane Libey in on the play, and also in for the Tigers that time was Kramer Rainbow.
So I tell you what, I hope that all of our young kids from our Young Kids Association are watching this defense. You know, this is one of those things where, and all of these guys play and used to play as young kids, right? But the way they're fighting through the block, Balin Brumfield, Adam Ebert, they're all just fighting through the block.
Third down and long. Here's the shotgun snap. Sweet in the pocket. Pressure coming. Balin Brumfield's got him in the backfield. To Bailey and Clowney. Brumfield. The sack. It's going to be 4th and long. Brumfield converted to a defensive end this year, and he has learned it pretty darn well, Jack.
Well, he's tall. He's strong. He's very strong, and I said it before, he's got a wingspan of something like, it looks like 12 feet when he gets his arms stretched out there, and it's hard for the quarterback to get away.
4th down, 16. They'll put Tyler Young for the Tigers back inside his own 25. The snap from Streck. He gets it away. Young will let it bounce. That may have hit a Tiger toward the sideline. It goes, and Chapman's going to have the football. And up back that time, Caleb Mendham was blocking, and the punt came up short and caught him on the back of the leg, rolled to the sideline. Chris Blatt comes up with the recovered fumble. And so the Tigers give up field position and the football on this play.
Well, that's 2 stats that I'm keeping there. One, we made Chapman punt. Second is the turnover. We've been keeping turnovers tonight. So they punt. We commit a turnover on the punt.
Tigers lead it 33-7, and now Chapman will have the football. Pretty good position.
It's pretty tough when we stop them. They can't move the ball. Now the Tigers and the head coach Rice out here, they're all talking to the officials about the spot of the ball.
And I'm not sure if they're not saying that Mendham was blocked into
I think they might be.
the ball. They're not going to win the argument, but no. I think that was the conversation they were having.
If this was Saturday afternoon, NCAA football, we'd have already seen the play 9 times.
You're right. They may still not be sure exactly what it should have been.
No, that's right.
1st down and 10. It'll be Chapman with the football. Tigers on defense now at their own 25. Sweet in the backfield. Carlson almost had him. Now here's going to be crunched as he gets back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more. The tackle by Gabe Ware. Hunter Mullen on the play as well.
I tell you what, I love what I'm seeing out of the Tiger defensive line right now. That defensive line is making the linebackers and the cornerbacks able to play a little different than they normally have to. That line is getting penetration, and they're getting into that offensive backfield.
That time, Dylan Carlson didn't get the tackle that he allowed Gabe Ware and Hunter Mullen to do that play on the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Sweet again from the gun. Back to pass this time. Has some time. Now steps to the pocket. He's caught from behind. Guess who? Bailey and Clowney Brumfield again. It's 3rd and long.
Derek Craig in there, too, to help sweep it up at the end. But Brumfield just crashed his blocker. He was blocked, and he just crashed and almost bull rushed his blocker into that quarterback.
3rd down 10 now for Chapman. 5 minutes to work, 3rd quarter. Tigers lead it here, 33-7. Chapman will break huddle. You got to wonder when they'll start having a little urgency to their tempo because they have continued to huddle up and come to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down 10. Here's Sweet. Pitch out right side to Streck. Right there is Adam Ebert. He almost caught the pitch. He does catch Robert Streck. It's a short yardage gain and a penalty flag on the other side of the field.
I'll tell you what, Adam Ebert takes a lot of pitches, and he takes them full speed. He almost got that as that cornerback out there. Great tackle, great play by Ebert. Let's watch what they call it.
Officials are converging to talk it over. And still continuing to talk it over. It will be 4th down and long. It is procedure against Chapman. And so they'll move this back. They decline. Okay. Tigers decline the penalty, obviously, because they've got him in 4th and long already.
Chapman's run 3 plays, and they haven't moved the yard marker at all. It is still at the very beginning of the 10-yard change, and it says 4th down.
4th down and 10. Chapman has to go for it. Down and in. Play centers into the field. Sweet, back to pass. Fires out right side as Maloney. Gets by one tackler. He is blown up in the backfield by Chase Casper. The freak has his second big hit of the night. Chase Casper, the catch made, the cut back towards the middle of the field, and the middle linebacker, Chase Casper makes the tackle.
I love a great defensive hit. I don't like when people get hurt. He might have just knocked the wind out of him because he was cutting back inside. Chase was coming across. What a beautiful defensive play by Chase. That's his second. And it's almost an identical hit.
It was, yeah. I mean, he just caught him and put him backwards. So, player down on the field right now. The Tigers will have the football back. That was 4th down, and they came up well short. Play center with 4:15 to go third quarter. Leads it here, 33-7. Timeout here on the field. We're back in just a moment.
Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep is a proud supporter of Tiger football. Get to Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and test drive the 29-mile-per-gallon Ram truck and save during Ram Truck Month. Need an SUV? How about the 30-mile-per-gallon Jeep Grand Cherokee? For 47 years, Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep has treated you like family because our family name is on the door. Schramm Chrysler Dodge Jeep on West Anderson in Manhattan or online at schrammcars.com. Go Tigers!
Third quarter action, 4:15 to work. Tigers lead it 33-7. It just took over the football on downs. By the way, the receiver for the Irish did get up, and it was the wind knocked out. You almost had that feeling as you saw him laying on the ground, but he was able to get up and run off under his own accord. That's the great news. But what a play by Jace Casper to finish off that attempted 4th down conversion. What a defensive stand by the Tigers.
It was a great defensive stand by the Tigers, and almost to a man, all 11 of them out there on every play were involved in the stop.
Tigers with the football. Cade Wallace under center, McCade Millius. Bowling goes in motion. Handoff underneath. This is going to be Adam Ebert. He breaks a couple of tackles, drags another one forward. He is close to the first down. We'll see where the mark comes in. A 9 or 10 yard gain on the opening carry on this series by Adam Ebert.
Move the chain. Move them.
They're eyeballing it. They have not signaled yet.
No.
Second down, they're saying. It's very, very short.
They marked him back. His knee must have been marked about a half a foot behind the chain.
Mullen and Young are the wingbacks. Ebert, the running back, behind Cade Wallace, who's looking to the sideline, trying to get the call from the coach. They have Milliken right, Lane Libby left.
This is a free down.
Second down, inches for the Tigers. 3:45 to go third quarter. Cade Wallace. He is going to pitch it out right side. Hunter Mullen trying to turn the corner, and it cuts against the grain. Gets hit once, gets hit twice. He's got the first down and a touch more. He takes it across the Tigers' own 35. It's 1st and 10 from their 36. 3:33 remains, third period. Three's wild. 3:33 to go, third quarter, 33-7. How about that, Chad?
And if anybody's in a 33 club, don't worry about it on the Tiger game because we're not going to end up on 33
I think
points.
they're going over that mark. That would be the thought process anyway. Tigers can be a little deliberate now with that lead, though, and 3:19 and counting here in the third.
And they have become more deliberate these last few plays.
Cade Wallace puts Young in motion right to left. They'll pitch out on the left side. He's got a block from Hunter Mullen. Now that's against the grain. Now shakes and bakes to the sideline. Almost broke a tackle. You could see him pound his hand into the turf, knowing if he got by that one tackler, he might have had some ground to go. But Tanner Hentenbach did a good job just hanging on for dear life. It's still a gain of 6 for Tyler Young.
I can't imagine what it must be like to be that fast. But when you have those kinds of physical skills, you get so frustrated when you can see what's in front of you if you can get past one more blade of grass. And that's about what it took on Tyler Young that time.
There was an injured player on the sideline, Isaac Johnson for the Irish, and he's slow to get back to the huddle. I said a gain of 6. I think they marked it maybe at 5 yards on the carry. Second down, 5 to go.
We have a lot of injured players on both sides of the ball tonight. I don't think any of them are serious injuries. They're going to hurt for a few days type injuries. But we've got them on. I mean, both teams they look like they need a pipe and drum here pretty soon because they're limping and hobbling and leaning over. And it's just one of those fashion heads type football games.
It's a league NCKO football game, right? Second down, 5. Lane Libby is wide left. Milliken to the right side. Both have had catches tonight. Milliken took it to the house on the 37-yard pass play. Young and Mullen are the wingback. Ebert in the backfield. Cade Wallace goes in under center, 2nd and 5. He'll fake it underneath, keep it. Now moves forward with the football. A carry of maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain. It brings up 3rd down.
It brings up third, but it brings up the type of third down we've been pretty comfortable with tonight. It's 3rd, and what am we going to call it? Maybe 2, maybe 3.
It's 2 yards, I think. They're just short of the 45. They need to get to the 46, so it's third down 2 yard situation.
No way we have a stat on this, but we have had this 3rd and 2 off a bunch throughout the night.
Hey, you're right. Again, the Tigers seeing the clock tick down as they look for the call from the sideline. Plenty of time still to get the play away. Wallace under center. 3rd down 2. Pitch out right side for Hunter Mullen. 1st down and more. He cuts it inside. Has the 1st down. Out near the 50-yard line he goes. It will be 1st and 10 Tigers.
That was nothing but a pitch. And it was a pitch to the wing back from the left side, coming across behind to the right. And it's a pitch to the right. We didn't fake anything up the middle. We didn't read anything. It was a pure pitch all the way. Hunter was just to go out and get the 1st down, and he got that and more.
He did just that. He could have had it going to the sideline, but he cut it back up and got 2 or 3 extra yards. 1st and 10 now, Tigers just short of the midfield strike. Under 2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Tigers leading 33-7. Lively left. Milliken right. Wallace. 5 count on. He goes in under center. The motion goes Mullen. Handoff underneath. They'll pitch it left. Here's Young trying to get to the sideline. Got a defender right on him, but he breaks through, jumps through 2 defenders, takes it across the midfield stripe to the 46-yard line. He had one guy back with him who kind of was mirroring him. You don't mirror Tyler Young. He just kind of toyed and then got himself out to the outside, jumped through 2 defenders, and gains 3.
Yeah, if you do the mirror drill with Tyler, you're going to lose every time, but Tyler became airborne on that to try to hang on to a yard or 2.
2nd down, 7 to go for the Tigers. Football now in Chapman's end of the field. Brumfield in at receiver. He comes tight left side, just in front of the wingback, Hunter Mullen. Young off to the right side. Milliken wide right. In motion, Mullen out of the backfield. Back to pass, Cade Wallace looks downfield, fires over the top for Tyler Young, and it's going to be incomplete. A defender behind Young, and then Blatt was coming across the top, and the ball falls incomplete between everybody.
Well, Cade Wallace sailed that pass just a little bit. You have to throw it pretty far to overthrow Tyler Young.
All right.
Because he was out there where he had room to run. But I like the call. I like the call a lot.
They had a receiver blasting down the middle that was not open. Young was bubbled out a little curl route, I guess, if you will, going to the right side and then going downfield, and was overthrown. 3rd down, 7. Clock stops here in the 3rd quarter with 49.5 to go. Cade Wallace now with Lively wide left. Milliken stays wide right. Mullen in motion, left to right. Handoff underneath, no pitch out left. Young jumps through defenders again, somersaults his way to the 40-yard line. He'll be
very close,
it appears, to the 1st and 10. And from bird's eye view up here, it looks like he has it, although the chains are on the opposite side, and they will not even measure. 1st and 10 Tigers.
I wasn't sure if it was a left foot or a right foot spot over here, but I thought either one of them was going to be pretty close. And, yeah, he somersaulted, almost landed on his head, a little bit awkward there, but picked up the 1st down. Big block by Lane Lively on that.
Lane Lively Magic making the block outside. 1st and 10 Tigers now at Chapman's 40-yard line. Clock ticking at 23 seconds, 3rd quarter. Play Center leads at 33-7. Wallace under center. Mullen again from left to right. They'll pitch out to Mullen. Now he cuts up the field. He gets it to the 35 and just inside. He'll pick up 6, maybe 7 yards. The final play of this 3rd period. We're headed to the 4th. The Tigers lead at 33-7 over Chapman. Stay tuned. You're listening to Tiger Football on 100.9.
Todd here at Wall's True Value. I got to thinking, if you get an 11% rebate on everything you buy, maybe everything you buy is priced 11% too high to start with. Just saying. If you want fair prices within easy driving distance of your home, shop at Wall's True Value 7 days a week for lumber, appliances, hardware, and lots of stuff you need. No silly sales gimmicks, just solid products from solid people 100% of the time at Wall's True Value in beautiful downtown Clay Center. Yes, 7 days a week for you.
I was sorting through my papers on my desk when in walked Roscoe. Where have you been?
They canceled our reruns due to the general lease, so I don't have anyone to chase.
Well, maybe now you'll have time to get your office organized. Central Office Service and Supply has a whole warehouse full of good used office desks, filing cabinets, and bookshelves at low prices.
Woo-wee! These drawers really work smoothly, and some even have locks. Best of all, I get to stay inside out of the heat.
Central Office in Clay Center. We deliver both new and used furniture.
To the final 12 minutes of this game, Chad, it's 33-7. Tigers have put on quite a display thus far this evening.
Well, we really have, and my first key to the game on offense was to win the line of scrimmage and get that offense moving downhill. We did it on our first possession in the first quarter. Then things got kind of crazy through a lot of that first half. But in the second half of play, we have done exactly that. We did it in the third quarter, and now we're doing it here. At the end of the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter, we have been running downhill and just moving the chains about every second or third down of the possession.
That big offensive line's done their job. McCade Melius in the middle, Jacob Blackburn and Dylan Carlson to the left. Cade Wallace goes in under center. We'll call this play. They pitch it left for Tyler Young. Looking for a block. Hunter Mullen was out there. Young fighting hard. The thing I love about Young's running thus far this season, we know he can make people miss, and with that burst of speed, it's that extra yardage he's fought for all year long.
I agree. When he was younger, he just depended on his speed. Because he started playing a lot of varsity minutes as a very young guy. And he would depend on that speed. He'd try to get out there and dance, juke, what have you. Now he's going to try to just pull through you and take you with him.
We mentioned the offensive line going into that last play. To the right side is Parker Folks. Now Brandon Loader. Of course, Jace Casper normally on that right side of the line getting a break right now. 3rd down and 3. Tigers at the 33 of Chapman. Here's Wallace. So we've got a penalty flag on the play. Wallace hit by Zook in the backfield. He had given that football away, and the whistle blowing. I'm not sure what the call is.
It's going to be procedure, I believe, on the Tigers. It's going to be, it was 3rd and 3. Now it's going to be 3rd and 8.
They'll move them back to almost the 40-yard line. It'll be at the Chapman 37. 3rd down, 8 yards to go, as Chet said. 11-10 to go in this ball game. Tigers lead at 33-7.
That was wild. You thought it was wild trees a while ago.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
33-7, third quarter, 38-yard line. 3rd down for the Tigers. 3rd down, 8 to go. In motion, Young starts behind, and now again, Wallace is planted, and I am surprised that Jason Zook has not been awarded a penalty for coming to the line. They were offsides and drawn off, and Zook said, well, if I'm going to be penalized 5, I'm going to get a shot at the quarterback.
And we've talked about Jason Zook, and anybody that knows these kids, knows these teams, has known him for quite a few years. Now he's coming in at 6'4", 272 pounds, and he's on a watch list for a number of teams at the next level.
One of the best across the state, no doubt. Long snap or a long play count for the Tigers as they let the clock wind down a little bit more. 3rd down, 3 yards to go after the penalty yardage went back against Chapman. Wallace, pitch out right, and hit in the backfield is Mullen, and a penalty flag will be thrown. I believe we're going to get a holding call against the Tigers in the backfield, and I can see the reaction from Clay Center. That must be the call. So it's a personal foul against the Tigers. Huh. And I don't know what that call was unless it was some type of chop block, although it was outside the line of scrimmage, it appeared from what I saw. But that would be my guess.
There was a lot of congestion right around the tackle there.
Right.
I'm not sure either. They're going to decline it.
So instead of what would have been 3rd down and almost 22, it'll bring up 4th down and 7. The Tigers at the Chapman 37-yard line will go for it.
I don't know. If I was Chapman, I'd have taken that.
I'd take the yardage, I think, too. For a short time on the game and you're down 33-7, maybe you're wanting to get the football back in a hurry. 4th down, 7 to go. And now a timeout going to be taken by the Tigers. 10-13 left, fourth quarter. Clay Center on top, You're listening to Tiger Football on 100.9.
What's next after harvest? Central Valley Ag suggests fall weed control.
Some of those weeds are winter annual weeds, and the best time for us to get a hold of those is by controlling those in the fall.
CVA agronomist Mike Swingman says getting rid of weed patches now can add profit next year.
So you have a clean seed bed to start next year.
Clean fields mean better yields. Control your weeds this fall for a better harvest next year. Contact Central Valley Ag right away.
Central Valley Ag, where the customer comes first.
This is Dallas Hasselbank. Did last year's storms damage your roof? See your authorized Duralast contractor, Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia. Duralast features a highly reflective membrane that reflects up to 80% of the sun's harmful rays that can help reduce your air conditioning bill. Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement has more than 35 years experience replacing and installing commercial and residential roofs, and we are an authorized Duralast contractor.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement, we've got you covered.
Back once again, we bring you to Otto Unruh Stadium. The Clay Center Tigers leading 33-7. It'll be Clay Center's football, 4th down and 7 yards to go. And the football on the Chapman Irish 37-yard line. Fourth quarter action. Tigers got up 19-0 through the opening quarter of play and have really kept the hammer down throughout this ball game. 4th down 7. Chapman digging in on the front line. Clay Center has Lane Lively wide to the right side. Adam Ebert, the receiver, behind Wallace, and then you have Young in the backfield. Mullen going in a pitch out left. They fake that pitch, rolling right. Wallace now loses the ball as he's looking downfield. The ball squirts in further back for Chapman, and this will be Irish football starting at their own 46-yard line. And Cade Wallace rolling right the whole way. I think he liked what he saw downfield. The ball just slipped out as he started to make that motion up to make the throw.
Yeah. It did. He saw something down there he really liked and he really wanted, but the ball didn't stay in his hands, and pretty soon it was spurting all over the ground out there. Chapman recovered. It didn't really matter who was going to recover that. They were going to take over the ball, about the same as not converting it, only about 5 yards further back. So Chapman has the ball at the 45, 46-yard line.
Hartford folks, Garrett Craig in the middle of that defensive line. Dylan Carlson and Balaam Brumfield there as well. Pitch out right side, ball loose again in the backfield. Brumfield goes after it. Now 2 more Tigers in there. Clay Center's football. The ball hit off the chest pad of Robert Strack, and it is going to be recovered by Caleb Bendham, I think, for the second time. Brumfield hit it first. I think Bendham comes out of there with his second fumble recovery.
I think it is, too. I think it might be the second recovery for the sophomore there. And he did a great job of getting on that ball, but part of that was because of all the hits at the end of that play. And the guys that were in position for Chapman to recover that ball thought they were going to get the ball, and all of a sudden they got knocked really hard. Balin Brumfield made that play last week, remember, in Rock Creek. The ball was loose, and he was the first to see it and got in there. He was the first to touch this one, and then Mendham got on top of it. 1st and 10, Tigers get it right back. Just under 10 to work. We're in the fourth quarter. Clay Center leads it 33-7. Cade Wallace puts Mullen in motion left to right. Fakes it, keeps it, comes across the 40, dives ahead for an 8-yard gain, and Cade Wallace will make it 2nd down and 3. We'll call it a gain of 7. 9:43 left to work, fourth quarter. We do have some awards we'll be handing out, and there is the Oscars have a lot of nominees put in each year. Nominations tonight are huge for the Tigers. And some of the names keep showing up in different same names keep showing up in different categories here.
2nd down 3. One of those names, Brady Milliken, in wide on the left side in this offensive set. In motion goes Young. Hand off underneath Adam Ebert. He's got some room up the middle now. Shakes it off to the left side. Back to the middle he goes. Fighting through, carrying 2 Chapman Irish. He still hasn't gone down as he takes it to Chapman's 18-yard line. What a run from Adam Ebert right at the catch.
Tell you what, Adam Ebert started lighting us up last year, midway through the season. I like watching him run. I like how he runs. But, boy, he's a crazy man. When he gets just a little bit of open field, he's a crazy man with perfect balance. He can cut any direction, but he doesn't lose control of his balance. And that's fun to watch.
Comes naturally. Older brother was crazy trained. So, yeah. 1st down and 10, football again at the Chapman 17-yard line, where it's marked down. Clay Center leading with 8:55 now to go in this football game. Lane Libby in at quarterback now. Pitch out right side to Mullen. Gets by one tackle in the backfield. Now to the sideline. Tries to break off of another one. He does go inside the 15-yard line. The pitch from Lane Libby to Hunter Mullen, who made a guy miss and picks up about 6 or 7 yards.
Great run by Hunter. Riley Griggs coming into the game now.
Second down, 5 to go. Riley Griggs had a triple-digit night rushing the football against Rock Creek in the JV game on Monday night. They have won their first 2 contests thus far. Second down, 5. Lane Libby again in at quarterback. Is Ebert behind him. Mullen to one side, Griggs to the other, the wingbacks. Lane Libby in under center. Second down, 4 to go. Libby's going to keep it himself. Now he gets rid of it late to Griggs, and he breaks a tackle to the end zone. Riley Griggs is in. Touchdown Tigers. He made one guy absolutely whiff, and then took it home.
Whiff is the perfect word. I mean, he lunged and came up empty, totally empty. Riley just paused, and he let him go, and then there was nobody between him and the goal line.
39-7 now the Tigers lead it, and Peyton Lane is on for the extra point. Touchdown run of 12 yards on the play, just inside the 15 when they started that handoff. Snap is there, hold is down. Peyton Lane's kick is up, and it is good. The Tigers have put 40 on the board. 7:53 to go, fourth quarter. 40-7. Tigers lead it here in the Den when we come back.
If you've been waiting for low interest rates to get a vehicle, Hanson Ford has some incredible incentives on 2015 certified pre-owned vehicles. A 1.9% APR for up to 66 months is available on Ford Escape, F-150, Focus, and Fusion. Or get a 0.9% APR for 36 months on all eligible Ford and Mercury vehicles. Now through September 30th is your chance to drive away in a select Ford certified pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. Rates are low and the selection is outstanding at Hanson Ford and Clay Center.
Why would you get a home loan at Union State Bank? 1. Your loan stays here in Clay Center, which means it's not sold to a lender in another state or country. 2. You can come in and see the same loan officer who helped you with your loan, which means no 800 numbers or foreign-speaking customer service reps. 3. This is your loan with your local bank for your community. Union State Bank has helped hold this community together for over 100 years. So let us help you out on your next loan. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
40-7 with 7:53 to go in this football game, and the Tigers tack on another one as Riley Griggs made some kind of run and made a man miss. He grabbed air. Griggs grabbed the end zone, and it's 40-7.
4 turnovers in this game. We scored off of all 4 of the
Wow, 7 straight turnovers the Tigers have forced and then taken points off of dating back to last week. Those are stats you love to talk about. Here's the kickoff from Levi Fitzemeyer, taken by an up back at the 25-yard line, out across the 35, and to the 37 will go Chapman on the return. Tackle made that time by the kicker, Levi Fitzemeyer, and also on the play was Kramer Rainbolt. Tigers will shake up a little bit defensively. Connor Last in there at a cornerback, and they moved Peyton Lane back to safety. Gabe Ware, Jace Casper able to come out of that middle linebacker position and to the sideline. Also on the field, Wyatt Alexander in a linebacker. We've got a whistle stop. The ball was snapped well over the quarterback's head, but someone had called timeout. It was the Tigers. They didn't have the right personnel on the field. Chapman had snapped it high, but Play Center had already called timeout. 7:43 to work. When we come back, we're going to give the first of our awards away. So do some thinking, Chad. We're back right after this.
Whether you want the tried and true seed wheat varieties or a blend of the latest in the field of genetic innovations suited for your specific soil conditions, Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales wants to be your source for seed wheat and starter fertilizer. Let us explain all the details and then place your order to ensure we have enough on hand. We can also add treatment to your seed wheat to protect it while it gets established and ready for a harsh winter. This is Blaze. Stop in and see us at Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales.
Back once again in the Den. Tigers on top 40-7. It's been some kind of celebration here on a Friday night for the Tigers and their NCKL opener. Let's talk catch to the game to start things off with the Catalyst Sign and Graphics catch of the game, and it was the first pass that was thrown in this football game, 37-yard touchdown to
Brady Milliken.
Yeah.
Right after he made a stellar play on defense by forcing a fumble, recovering that same fumble. Our first play after that, up top to Brady Milliken.
It was an
37
awesome
yards.
defensive play on the kickoff return that he forced the fumble. The Catalyst sign and graphics catch of the game, Brady Milliken, 37-yard touchdown. Here's Sweet, back to pass, fires out right side as a receiver. There is a flag down. This is Blatt with a carry. He'll take it across the 50-yard line.
I knew that was coming.
A flag back near the line of scrimmage.
And the official threw his hat down over there for a second flag. That'll be on us on the tackle.
A little high on the hit that time, likely.
Yeah.
Had the same feeling when I looked over and saw the play.
We may have grabbed up high. I don't know. It could have been a horse collar. It could have been even the helmet. That is something.
See Elias Pfeiffer coming to the sideline as face mask. Caleb Bindham comes in.
Both of those are on us. So
holding up near the line.
Yeah. Well, first it was holding on us, and then it was face mask on the tackle.
Okay. Get you a look at the Tigers defensively here as we piece together where this football is going to be at. Gavin Ware in the middle on the defensive line. Sorting through where the Tigers will be positioned at. Holden Heigl in there for the Tigers as well. That's on the interior. Brandon Loader in there defensively on the line. And now they're back in the huddle, so we'll make sure we get them in the right positions as the Tigers have been able to go deep with a big lead of 40-7. That's a huge penalty.
Man, that's big. I don't know what happens if there's a third penalty because he's already used up his flag and then his hat. We'll have to ask our friend Myron what you do if there's a third penalty.
I bet he's got an answer.
You know he does.
Okay, so the Tigers again defensively have brought now in Holden Heigl up on the front row, as we mentioned. Cody Carlson up there as well as they shuffle from the strong side to weak side defensively. And Sweet is ready to run for Chapman. High snap, handoff to Streck underneath. Works it through the middle. He's going to be brought downfield. In on the play, Levi Fitzenmeyer does the kicking duties for the Tigers, and Brandon Loader on the play as well. But it's a good carry by Streck, who takes it inside of the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10, Irish.
We have a lot of 2 and 3 deep type guys in there right now, and Streck is going to bring it at him.
Absolutely. Wyatt Alexander, we see the outside linebacker, as Anthony Atkinson Innicking in there right now as well, kind of stretched out defending. Here's a bobbled snap, went high. Sweet picks it up. He gets downfield inside the 20 with 6:50 to work. The ball carrier, Sweet, the quarterback, able to pick up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Tell you what, the quarterback back there and the snap goes over his head. Very seldom does it happen to bounce back into his arms on the second bounce. You know, and that time he got lucky. He was able to turn around and head upfield, pick up 6 yards on the play.
Tiger punter Connor Last out there, Caleb Mendham, who's been a big part of this game already, defensively now for the Tigers as well. Here's Streck, right side, bounces off a tackle, spins off another, spins one more time, gets down near the goal line. He'll be stopped short, but it'll be 1st down and goal Chapman as they take it inside the 5.
Well, I actually thought he got into the end zone. That's how close he is. So it was a big, hard run by Streck. He hasn't actually he went down earlier than I thought. He must have scooted along the ground there because he ended up very close to the goal line. They're right at the extra point line.
So that's a 3. Larry Libey in there in the middle for the Tigers. And now the handoff to Streck again. He will push actually it's not Streck with the carry. Yeah, it was Reverend Streck. So Streck does take it in from 3 yards out. It's 40-13. Tigers with the lead with just under 6 minutes to go now in this football game.
You know, Streck's one of those misleading runners. He's only 5'9". He's only 155 pounds, right? But you got to bring your A game to tackle that ball. And you know, our first stringers were ready for that. These guys aren't quite ready to put him on the ground.
Here's Sweet with the extra point try on its way up, and it is through. Peyton Lane almost got in there and blocked that thing. 5:59 to go in the ball game. Tigers now lead it 40-14. Stay with us. The kickoff return for Clay Center on the way next.
Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy has earned the reputation of being a dependable supplier of durable medical equipment. They offer customers cost-effective quality products they need to improve their health and well-being. lift chairs, shoes for diabetics, canes, bath aids, wheelchairs, knee braces, CPAP machines and supplies, and several other helpful equipment is available. And if you have a prescription to be filled, bring it into Patterson Health Mart Pharmacy for friendly and professional service. Downtown Clay Center.
Tyler Hassenbank discusses how Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia make sure you get the right siding for you.
First, we kind of figure out what you're looking for. It varies from colors to kind of what the image you want to put out. That's kind of our process. We'll just sit down with you and talk you through it.
That's Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement in Concordia.
Geisler Roofing and Home Improvement, we've got you covered.
5:59 to work here in the fourth quarter. Tigers on top 40-14. Chapman undefeated coming in. Tigers at 1-1, winning for the first time last week, and Clay Center just jumped out on this pony in a hurry, Chet.
Yeah. You know, turnovers, we say it all the time, but you live and die with the turnovers, but we not only got big turnovers, we converted it, you know, and that makes a big difference. The offense for Chapman can't stay on the field. You know, and so the first time we made it, we had it 3 downs and out. We put together a good drive, and then it was just a series of Chapman not being able to keep the ball.
Tyler Young, Hunter Mullen are back deep to receive at their own 11-yard line. Here's the kick. High, wobbly kick. It's going to bounce short. Tigers need to get on top of it. Young does at the 23-yard line. Makes a couple of people miss. It's going to be brought down as he moved it up the field by Eric Lemon. It is going to be taken over for the Tigers at their own 27-yard line.
That was almost like a pooch kick.
It was.
And, you know, we see pooch kicks all the time, usually off to one side or the other. That was a pooch kick right in the middle of the field, and you never know what's going to happen with that. And you want to see everybody going for that ball. I saw everybody going away from that ball.
Then 15 came up and picked it up, and everybody went, okay, we're fine. We've had the Catalyst signing graphics cash of the game, Brady Milliken. We're going to come back in a moment after this, during this series, and award, I think, the stat of the game for Midwest Products will do next, because I think I know exactly where you're going to go with that one. Here's a carry right side by Peyton Lane, who's now in at quarterback. But the Tigers are going to be able to get a lot of people in this football game. Offensively now, we see up on the line of scrimmage Brandon Loader and Holden Heigl, Garrett Craig, and also on the front row is Jonathan Kramer Rainbow. Peyton Lane quarterbacking. Play comes into from the sideline by Anthony Atkinson Inniking. Connor Last in there will be a receiver to the right side. Riley Griggs, who scored just a little while ago in there. Here's Lane under center. Griggs goes in motion. They'll pitch out to him left side. Tries to stretch it left. Dives across the 25-yard line. Gets the opening plays yardage back, and it is brought down. Levi Fitzenmeyer playing in the backfield for the Tigers. Now we see Wyatt Alexander come in from the sideline.
Riley Griggs is one of those gritty players. You know, you can't hurt him. He's just gritty, and he likes getting in there and mixing it up. But the other part about him is he's got blazing.
Oh, man, he's fast. We saw that earlier when he made a guy miss, and he was gone. 3rd down 9, 4:40 and ticking on this fourth quarter clock. The Tigers up big, 40-14. And we've got a penalty flag. Peyton Lane was rolling right, wanting to pass, but a procedure penalty against the Tigers will stop this play and bring him back 5 yards. With 4:36 to work, how about our Midwest Products stat of the game, Chad?
Well, you know where I'm going with it, and everybody else does too, I imagine, but the turnovers. And I'm going to take it too deep on the turnovers. Okay. We've scored off of all the turnovers.
Right.
And we'll go ahead and say it's 7 straight when we go back into last week as well that we have scored off of turnovers. That's a bigger deal than people may think. But here's the other thing. I'm going to bring those turnovers back here. I wanted to see 6 punts tonight. Well, we have 2 out of Chapman and 4 turnovers. They didn't get to keep the ball long enough to punt, so I'm putting those 4 and 2 together. I got my 6.
Your number works perfectly. And I will say again, that is a better number than the 6 punts would have been. And we've got another penalty flag. Lane trying to roll right. We've got procedure against the Tigers. I think the receiver on the right side got a little bit of a head start downfield. 4:15 to work, fourth quarter. Tigers on top here, 40-14. They were up 19-0 after one quarter, and then really just kept the thing rolling all night. Chapman scored right before the halftime on a turnover, but the Tigers came right back out, knocked another touchdown through, and then tacked on one more in the fourth. So Peyton Lane will run the play in from the sideline to his huddle. 4:01 left to work here in this fourth quarter. It's 40-14, Tigers with that lead. Lash goes out wide to the left side. Alexander to the right. Also Fitzenmeyer off that side. Bindham goes in motion. Here's Lane. Handoff underneath, and the carry is going to be taken by Levi Fitzenmeyer. No, it's downfield. Peyton Lane still has it. He's to the 45-yard line. I watched the pile, Chet. I thought he still had the football. It's giving the football away. Peyton Lane downfield, and now the officials are trying to decide what exactly happened.
There may have been an inadvertent whistle. Because it's like everybody stopped and they were looking around, and then they just decided, oh, the play's still going.
Oh, man. Peyton Lane was almost gone, and everybody kind of paused, including us, because I saw Peyton running down the field, and the officials have brought this back to the 20-yard line. And now they've got to go to the sidelines and explain what happened. And I can tell you Coach Rice and the sideline won't like it. Fortunately, it's a 40-14 ball game when this happened. Coach Rice he turned around and started walking away from the official before he got all the way over here. He didn't even want to hear it. He knew what was coming.
Oh, it's a penalty on the Tigers. Or are they just moving it back? They're moving it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's like a redo.
They're replaying the down.
Yeah, that's exactly the call. Peyton Lane was almost gone. Then the whistle blew, and everybody stopped again. So third down and long, 3:29 to work. We're in the fourth. Receivers, 2 to the right side, 1 off the line to the left, and the wingback right. Tigers letting that clock wind down. Now Peyton Lane goes in under center with a 5-count started. He'll roll right, wanting to pass. Pressure coming, fires downfield. Is going to be tipped and incomplete. He was looking for Riley Griggs. Lane dumped in the backfield as he let go of the football. That brings up fourth down with 3:09 to work.
We're going to see Connor Lass back on a punt. It'll be really the Tigers' first punt of the night. He was back, and we had that bad snap, a bobbled snap, so that was the same as a turnover for the Tigers there as well. But he's back here. Fourth and very, very long for the Tigers.
40-14, 3:09 to work. Last stands at his own 5-yard line awaiting the snap. It is low. Scoops it, now in trouble, knocks to the end zone, and he'll be tackled there, and that'll be a safety. I believe he's in the end zone. Is that correct?
No, they're marking him.
They marked him at the 1, so Chapman's going to take over here at the 1-yard line. That's 2 bobbled snaps, and I don't say bobbled on Connor Lass.
No.
2 bad snaps is really the correct terminology.
Think that long snapper is important?
Always. We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
We know that personally from one of our own Tigers, number 46. I was interesting last night watching, I hate to bring the Chiefs game up again, but there was a play downfield, and the announcer made note of the long snapper who made the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
His number, 46. So we see Dalton Converse do that quite often at Bill Snyder Family Stadium. 3:02 to go, 40-14. Chapman takes over at the 1-yard line, first down and goal on the special teams error. Sweet, low snap here. He picks it up, now weaves his way to the goal line and in for 6. And Chapman gets their second score very quickly here in this fourth quarter. It'll be 40-20. Chapman with the extra point try coming up. 2:57 left to go in this ball game.
Well, I can tell you this. Both teams are going to spend a lot of time this next week on snapping. You know, both teams.
Chapman special teams and in the regular offense for Chapman.
Chapman's really struggled with it.
They have. Again, Chandler Sweet on for the extra point. They will kick it this time. There's a low snap as well, and it's going to be blocked. The kick went right into the Tiger defensive line. Actually into the hands before it's all said and done of Nate Livey. 2:57 to work. We're in the fourth. Tigers on top 40-20. They'll have the football back when we return.
Hey folks, Bill Rice from the Green Team. We have a great selection of used and program SUVs in stock. How about this? A 2015 Jeep Patriot with only 19,000 miles on it for $16,975 or $248 a month. Or a beautiful little Buick Encore, local trade-in for only $321 a month. Or how about the 2013 Chevy Equinox with only 51,000 miles for $292 a month. This is with approved credit. Come check us out at the Green Team, 802 West Crawford in Clay Center.
Whether you want the tried and true seedweed varieties or a blend of the latest in the field of genetic innovations suited for your specific soil conditions, Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales wants to be your source for seedweed and starter fertilizer. Let us explain all the details and then place your order to ensure we have enough on hand. We can also add treatment to your seedweed to protect it while it gets established and ready for a harsh winter. This is Blaze. Stop in and see us at Wilbur Ellis and Reed Seed Sales.
2:57 to work here in this fourth quarter. Tigers on top 40-20 right now. We have a couple of scores I'll pass along to you here in a moment as the kickoff comes, and it's going to be taken downfield and returned out across the 35-yard line. Barreling out, giving the Tigers football to the 38-yard line, Tyler Young. Big matchup tonight for Manhattan and Topeka Hayden. And that is, we knew that'd be a great ball game. Manhattan, or 21-14, Hayden knocks off Manhattan tonight. Where was it? And I do not know. But 21-14, Hayden over Manhattan. A couple of NCKL scores we can pass along. It is Abilene who will win it. I don't have a final. I have some numbers on what Harley Hazlitt did tonight, which were big numbers.
Been in there like 12 years.
It seems like it at times. We need to get a final score on those. I just got some stats coming this far. 1st and 10, Tigers with the football. Levi Fitzenmeyer, the running back. Peyton Lane will keep it, spins off a tackle, gets to the 40-yard line, maybe the 41, a gain of 2 or 3. So the Tigers will have second down and 8, maybe 7 yards to go. 2:30 left to go in this ball game. The Can Equip block of the game we have to take a look at, and there's all kinds of things we could look at in this deal. Second down and 8. We'll look at that here in just a second as Peyton Lane's going to let this clock wind down as far as he can. We also have the Debenham Electric's electrifying play of the game. That one, I think, has been pretty much decided.
We had several of them tonight, but I know which one I like.
Peyton Lane fakes the pitch, keeps it, now breaks to the open field after the Chapman 45-yard line. He goes down to the 45. As that football pitched out to the right on the fake, pulled it back in, faked the defender out, and got downfield.
You can make a living off of that, and he did right there. He was not quite to the first down marker. It was 2nd and 8, and he picked up about 7 of those 8 yards, and he faked that pitch downfield, bought himself 10 more yards on the run.
Abilene does beat Marysville 27-6 is the final in that ball game tonight. Abilene with the win. Correction, that's Abilene over Concordia tonight. 27-6 final. Hazlitt had a huge game this evening with 332 yards of total offense. Concordia had 200 yards total offense as a team, and they lost 3 more fumbles. They are -7 in a turnover department in the Panthers this year. Have not had a final on Wamego Marysville yet. Minute 56 to work here. Tigers lead it 40-20. They're going to move to 2-1. Chapman will drop to 2-1. I'm going to go with Lane Lively on the Can Equip block of the game. I just think that was a play that was really big to open that up and really send a message to start that second half. I like it. When Young got free. We had Milliken's block when twice Adam Ebert got down the field in that touchdown pass, but I just really think that was a big play to start the second half.
Yeah, I agree.
The Can Equip block of the game, Lane Lively on the Tyler Young run. So we have one more to give away, and we'll wait till this next play. I think they'll run at least 1 or 2 more. The Tigers, second down and 9 with 1:40 left to go in the game. They lead 40-20. Peyton Lane under center. Speaking of electrifying play. And he will keep it outside, pitches late, gets it off downfield. This is Caleb Mindham, and he is going to be tackled, and a penalty flag will go against the Irish. A hit up top toward the helmet. This will tack on 15 yards. This will give us time, Chet, to talk about the Debenham Electric electrifying play of the game, and it was something else. Peyton Lane, 62 yards, scoop and score.
I had to circle that one. We had others up there that were viable candidates in any game, but that was so electrifying, and it just worked. I mean, it never works like that, and when it does, you just have to enjoy every second of it. But it was so fun to watch. Sophomore took it 62 yards. The Debenham electrifying play of the game. Peyton Lane, 62 yards, scoop and score. On this last penalty, the official on this side had a lot of help from the Clay Center stand on making that call. As we get set for a break, I'll give you again the Midwest Product stat of the game. That's the 4 turnovers, all scoring for the Tigers tonight. The Can Equip block of the game, Lane Lively on that Tyler Young run to start the third quarter. Catalyst Sign and Graphics catch of the game. Brady Milliken, 37-yard touchdown pass caught from Cade Wallace, and the Debenham electrifying play of the game. Peyton Lane, 62 yards, scoop and score in the first half. Stay with us. Time out on the field by Chapman. We're back with your finish next.
What's next after harvest? Central Valley Ag suggests fall weed control.
Some of those weeds are winter annual weeds, and the best time for us to get a hold of those is by controlling those in the fall.
CVA agronomist Mike Swingman says getting rid of weed patches now can add profit next year.
So you have a clean seed bed to start next year.
Clean fields mean better yields. Control your weeds this fall for a better harvest next year. Contact Central Valley Ag right away.
Central Valley Ag, where the customer comes first.
Along with our studio engineer, Garrett Pearson, Chet Carlson alongside Rocky Downing in the booth with you on a Football Friday. Kerry Carlson will get back. Missed him tonight. We could have got all kinds of numbers. He'd have been so busy. Oh, man. First down and 10 here. Pitch out left for Griggs. Bobbled for a moment. Then gathers it in. Then dives forward down near the 37-yard line. A minute 20 to work. Tigers will have second down and 5 to go after a Griggs 5-yard run. And now a Tiger slow to get up, I believe, is Riley Griggs.
Little shaken up at the end of that play.
Trying to get up under his own accord. Coach Rice out there quickly to visit with him before he moves around too much. Helmet is off for Griggs. Tigers next week, it's homecoming. Marysville comes to town. And it's always a special night. It's Piety weekend for the Tiger community. It is a Friday night of Marysville Clay Center NCKL action. It's homecoming, but we'll also have a special halftime presentation that I'm excited about. The 1963 football team, one of those mythical state championships. We're going to get a chance at halftime. The CCCHS is honoring them at halftime as the state championship, which was never really awarded to them. So it's exciting. Yeah. And I think a lot of the players and coaches from that team will be recognizing their family members or the players themselves.
It'll be fun. It'll be a busy weekend in Clay Center, no doubt.
Second down and 6 after a 4-yard Griggs gain. He did come off under his own accord, but obviously shaken up. Rolling right lane, wanting to pass, caught in the backfield and brought down. It'll be a loss of yardage with a minute 4 left to go. You'll see from the sideline Wyatt Alexander bringing the play in. You can see him standing next to Coach Mark Henry, waiting for the call to bring into the huddle. Third down, 14. 2 receivers off to the right side. Atkinson Enneking is wide to our side. Levi Fitzemeyer again, the running back behind Peyton Lane. We're down to 36 seconds. One more snap, and the Tigers can put this one in the books. Lane will wait for the back official to start that 5 count. There he goes. Now he heads in under center Garrett Craig. Lane drops back, takes a knee, and that's going to be the ball game. The Tigers jumped out to a 19-0 first quarter lead. They go on to win it 40-20 here in the Den. Clay Center 2-1. The Chapman Irish dropped to 2-1. More importantly, league status, Tigers start off 1-0. Stay with us. Your postgame is coming up next.
Home sweet home. It's everything you've dreamt of until the water heater breaks down, the roof needs replaced, the picket fence takes a hit, a pipe bursts, and the basement floods. Whew. That's when you call your friends at United Bank and Trust. With years of lending experience and a few home ownership hurdles of their own, they can help make it a home sweet home again with the Home Sweet Loan. Home improvement loans from United Bank and Trust. You bank, we deliver. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
when you're a student athlete, you carry a lot of responsibility because you represent not only yourself, but also your family, your school, and your community. So whether you're in the classroom or on the court or field, take pride in what you do, persist in your endeavors, and work hard to achieve your goals. These qualities will help you succeed and find fulfillment, not only now, but also in the next chapters of your life. We're proud to support you, Tigers. We're Clay County National Bank, member FDIC.
Knowing that we'll be fine tomorrow gives us great peace of mind today. That's why it's so important to ensure your future and your family's. State Farm can help you do it, thanks to their financial services and agents who can personally advise you on which plans better suit you. Continue enjoying your lifestyle, invest in your business or yourself, and ensure your children's education. Get to a better state. Call David Borgerding at 632-5642 or visit him at 428 Lincoln Avenue in Clay Center.
Football season is the favorite time of year for the guys at B&D Sandblasting and Painting. They specialize in sandblasting stock trailers, hay trailers, and semi-grain trailers. They can make your old trailer look like new and maintain its function and value with their high-quality primer and paint. B&D are also experts at installing seamless guttering on your home or business. When their work is done, you can bet they'll be at the football game supporting the Tigers. Give B&D Sandblasting and Painting a call at 632-0696.
Chat, we knew Chapman was pretty good coming in as we bring you the post-game, being brought to you tonight by Clay County National Bank, B&D Sandblasting and Painting, and State Farm Insurance, David Borgerding, agent. We knew Chapman was pretty good coming into this football game. Right. We thought this was going to be a really good battle because we knew the Tigers were pretty good. I don't think anybody could have truly guessed they could have jumped out in the manner they did tonight.
Oh, you always hope for it. But no, I don't know anybody in this stadium that was predicting that. We came out with some authority, and we did what we needed to do at the time we needed to do it.
True. That's a great way to put it. You got it early, got the lead, you kept adding to it, and then to start the second half in the manner they did, to just kind of tack that on. Wow, I said that early in the game, you couldn't script this. That was 14-0. I said you couldn't script a game like this any better, and they just made it better and better each and every quarter, it seemed like.
Well, they really did, and you talked about how they came out in the third quarter. I was worried about the defense, of them maybe coming out a little flat, not quite as sharp as they needed to be. What impressed me was the way the offense came out just as if it was the beginning of the game, and they played with that kind of a poise and that kind of intensity and that kind of pace, and that's what it took.
And they shut down a team that's put up some pretty big numbers, not just against Circle, but even in the win against Southeast Saline. Is a really good team this year to win at 14-10. The Tigers really shut them down until some mop-up duty late. Streck got loose a little bit and scored a couple of touchdowns. Tigers got it going early when Tyler Young got him down the field, and in 11 yards, he was able to get to the sideline, break a tackle, and dive to the end zone. And then the Tigers were kind of off and moving at that point.
Well, we were off and moving, but that was after a 6-minute and 2-second drive. So, that pace and that control of the ball and the control of the line of scrimmage got Tyler to that 11-yard line so he could run that touchdown.
Then Brady Milliken on the next kickoff. I mean, the Tigers score, they kick it away, and Milliken makes the tackle, pops the football loose, recovers the fumble. I mean, he pulls the trifecta off in one play, and then he adds to it because the very next play following that, Tigers took over. Cade Wallace up top, 37 yards, Milliken in, wide open for 6.
And that play took 7 seconds, which basically means we scored 13 points in 7 seconds of game clock as you put those two together.
Then the Chapman Irish started to get things working a little bit offensively. Tiger defense certainly was outstanding tonight, but they started to move it. They were at the midfield line. They were moving into Tiger territory. A pitch left from Sweet, looking for Streck, found turf. Peyton Lane, 62 yards later, as a scoop and score. That was a thing of beauty. I mean, it was fun to watch.
It was a blast to watch that. And, you watch the ball bounce perfectly for Peyton. He's able to scoop it. He's able to not really lose many steps. And all of a sudden, he's off to the races. It looked like Chapman had 3-4 guys that were going to get him, and he just separated himself and cruised to the end zone.
Adam Ebert then, the next Tiger to get to the end zone on a Cade Wallace very short pass outside. He got a great block on that play for Brady Milliken. But once he found open turf, Adam Ebert can fly, and he got to the end zone.
Yeah, it was kind of a stock block out there, and all he had to do was cut inside him and take off for it. I actually first wrote that down as a 30-yard run. because it was more like a run play. It was a very short lateral pass. It was all yards after catch for Ebert, but it was a beautiful 30-yard play.
And Chapman would score right before halftime to make it 27-7. Tigers came back out in the second half and really sent a message. Time of possession had to be around that 5 or 6 minute marker. No, it was about 4 or 5 minutes, I think, because they did get the big run from Tyler Young when Lane Lively got that block of the game we gave it. Young, though, did 4 or 5 different things on that run. He broke a tackle. He made a couple of guys miss. Then he had a burst of speed, made another guy miss, another burst of speed. He almost got it to the end zone. And then Cade Wallace, following that on 4th down, injured, thought he was coming out of the game. Instead, he stays in there, and he finds a way up the sideline to get the first down yardage. He got the payoff with the quarterback. He does a great series.
It was a really great series. You said that so well. Everything that there was too many things that happened in Tyler's run, but off and on over the years we've used the term warrior, and that's what Cade Wallace turned into in those last 2 plays. First to convert that 4th down, get a new set of downs, and then to get into the end zone.
And then that made it 33-7. The final score for the Tigers was Riley Griggs, 12 yards out, and he started off to the left, and the defender was right there and had it. He was broke down, ready to go after him, and truly Riley just made him whiff, is how I put it on the run. And once the defender went by, clear sailing to the end zone.
Number 27 has an afterburner on him. He only needed it for about 10 yards at that point, but nobody was going to touch him. And the defender that thought he had him came up with an armful of air, and then it was Riley into the end zone fast.
Robert Streck did get in for a couple of touchdowns late for Chapman, which made the final score 40-20. 1-0 for the Tigers in league. They get Marysville homecoming next Friday. 2-1 overall. This has been 2 outstanding performances back-to-back for the Tigers, and to back up last week at Rock Creek to come home and do it again in this fashion, pretty special stuff.
It really was. Here's another related but weird stat. 6 scores off of turnovers tonight. We got 4 on them, but we had the 2 bobble snaps. Of the 3 Chapman scores, 2 of them were converted after the bobble snap.
And one more note, it was great to see Gabe Ware get back up and get back in and play. And Greg, I don't know if you're still hanging around post-game or already high-fiving, but we hope to see you back at the stadium. I know you'll be back as soon as possible. Just glad that you're doing as well as you are. That's going to wrap up post-game here on a Football Friday from the Den. Brought to you tonight by State Farm Insurance, David Borgening agent, B&D Sandblasting and Painting, and Clay County National Bank. For our studio engineer, Gierla Pearson, Chet Carlson, as always, great to have you in the booth. This is Rocky Downing telling you to enjoy the rest of your Sports Football Friday.